Sorry, I'm laughing because on my end, the moment I realized Lucky was going ahead and starting the video recording, I did hit record. So I just my audio cut starts with Loth laughing. I don't know if the video cut also works, but like Loth just like cough laughed to himself, and I'm like, we're here. Hi, welcome to Rain. It's actually episode 69.
Nice.
Nice.
I was first.
True, real.
Listen, I forgot how to count temporarily,
because...
so I'm a little pissed at myself.
Oh, no. It happens. It's okay.
Okay.
The count would be so upset.
I'll let you have this one.
That 68 is posted like just now. And we're in it. We're in the business. And it's going to stay 69 for a little bit because just immediately just started recording. Dallas said he's going to be traveling next weekend, so there will be no session of the rain unless something can happen to Nicola where he's disabled, but I don't think that will happen because he's in the tournament.
I mean,
someone break Nicola's
leg.
Who
knows? Please don't.
I mean, I'm not going to say that circumstances won't happen, but they probably won't happen. And so he should be here. It's not like we could skip him. He would be in the tournament.
Training.
We
can just do something else, but well, it's another time.
We'll figure out if we are doing something else. That's not relevant to the production of Rain. Before we do anything else, I've been John for like a minute. Let me remind you, this episode is brought to you by our patrons alike: and Harplex G, Call Me Zed, Carlos Dragon, JD 1000, Crystal Legendary. Nope, he went down one. I'm auto-tuning. This is what happens when I do this for like 3 or 4 years. You guys get me in a rhythm. Rise of Kenji, Rogue Ramen, and Sjorberg is my last reads. Legendary Boss Hunter is still a patron, but they get in the other credits because they went down from the whale version where I yell your name into the void.
Huh?
Some people pick funny names for me to yell. Anyway. It's Rain. Now, technically, we are beginning at the ending, by which I mean that some of you have some scenes to discuss about the gala and kind of how it wraps up. You know, we did end with everybody, goes home, huge fireworks display, all that stuff. But there were a couple of points some people wanted to make sure we're still covered, even though we had to wind things down. So we can handle any number of those before I get to describing/redescribing the tournament.
The tournament.
Fuck. Okay, well, the one that was happening as a flashback was Konrad would at some point get a note delivered to Paloma Espada, pretty much saying that at any point during the week he'll be free for a exhibition match.
Okay, all right, yes, I see. Mm-hmm. The note is received.
And that is it.
All right. I know Inos wanted to say a few of his... Nope, not Degrees Baguette. Inos wanted to say a few of his goodbyes.
Mm-hmm.
Not bagoos.
His baguettes.
My buy goods. No, that's different. That's when you roll haggle. But
Baguska!
No, there's no tape here. There's no tape here, and he's not drunk. No Bagusker pass. Okay, anyway. To climb out of the hole, yes.
So, Inos will take up Konrad on his offer to oversee, goodbyes and farewells and, all that stuff. And he's going to go spend some time with his ladies. First, he's going to check in with Lucy. And Inos is curious to see how the first meeting with Sidril Cowrie went.
I feel like it's just a little funny. Like you go to talk to her about that, and Lucy seems slightly distracted for a second before she's like, before you're like, oh well, I saw you talking to Sarah. And she's like, oh right, that yes. It's probably a little awkward. Like on her end, like Lucy's, we're developing brand new social circumstances. I would like to remind you that, or remind everybody actually, that like most of you, Lucy Essex is only 19. So we are, despite all the responsibilities placed on everybody, we are still like discovering things for the first time. Not even 19; she's 18. So it's a lot of just like, figuring stuff out as we go. But yes, she probably says something to the effect of like, well, he seemed perfectly fine. Intelligent, polite, a little suave, but not too suave, if you know what I mean.
I'm sorry, well, Inos says, well, of course, you know me.
She shoots you a less embarrassed but more aside glance, which is like, it's kind of ambivalent. It's half like, a little sassy, like, yeah, I do, but also a little bit like, just like, also not what I was talking about. I get what you mean, but also that's not what I meant. She kind of like, rolls her eyes and says, yes, and he's not trying to be you, which is smart. Because I'm pretty sure that I think she like, probably, yeah. Lucy would like gently like poke your shin with her like dance shoe or whatever, and be like, because I'm pretty sure they only made one of you.
It's like, oh, thank goodness for that. I can barely handle being one of me. But Inos is going to oh, how do I want to word this? Kind of peer closer at Lucy and be like, Lucy, darling, are you all right?
Oh, yes, I am fine. It's just kind of deep breath, sips the rest of her drink that she's finishing off, because you're all packing in for the day. She's just like, did you happen to overhear his lordship making a bet with the Baron Oro?
Yes, I was in earshot of that particular conversation.
Yes, well, it's just so well, you unconditionally assume that I'm a good sailor, which is good because it's correct. Lucy corrects herself. You would say she's a good sailor if she didn't know, her larboard from her starboard, but it's also true. She's like, the Seawolf is an exceptional vessel, and we've been doing some very, shall we say, interesting things since your latest improvements. But she kind of like, awkwardly, kind of like touches the back of her hair a little, which probably slightly musses whatever her current hairstyle is. Usually Lucy, I think, is a loose ponytail, but knocks a couple hairs out of line and says, "But I'll admit, I've never really been a girl who sets out trying to break any records. If things happen, they happen. But I'm planning on it." Kind of scratches her chin. It's just like, well,
Inos is quiet about that for a second. And so, Inos is quiet for a second and says, I'm not going to ask, can you do it, Lucy, because I bloody well know that you can do it. But I will ask if there is anything I can do to help you do it. As always, my resources are at your disposal.
She kind of, nods slowly, you know, kind of like probably adjusts her posture a little back to be a little more, you know, kind of like solid, and says, "Yes, quite. Well, she kind of shifts from like her, like I said, she was a little, you know, when you started the conversation, she was a little distracted. When you switched to Sidwell Cowrie, she got a little embarrassed. You know, now she kind of like you see her put on her kind of like serious captain's face. Right to everybody at home, Lucy is, again, despite being 18, is command 4. She knows what she's doing. Sorry, I just noticed that there's a Lucy's stat block is one of the earlier NPCs I've done, so there's a slight formatting hiccup. I'll fix that later. But she kind of, you know, nods slowly and says, "Well, if we want to make our best, we'll need up-to-date charts." And she raises a finger before, you know, you like do a spinning, and she says, "And not right now. I mean, up to date, as in right when we start setting out. I can make my best efforts for that, but it would probably be better to make sure we're in direct contact with somewhere like the King's Navy or the Observatoire." Didn't Duke Verity say something about making sure everyone's charts were up to date? She kind of says that mostly to herself, but if you want to respond, you can.
Inos will be like, I believe he said something to that effect.
Well, that will be key. I'm serviceable at chart making and chart reading, so I wouldn't say no to a better navigator. Then she pauses and goes, well, we're going all the way to Keltasea. I'm sure Lord Konrad will be along. He has a very good way with maps. Other than that, I mean, well..." Lucy kind of like purses her lip for a second and you know, takes an aside glance at Inos again and kind of like, "Speaking as Captain Lucy of the Sea Wolf attempting to make a record-breaking journey, it would probably be a good idea if we could invite Captain Nitona on board, or maybe rustle up another couple of wind witches to make sure things go smoothly." Now, Lucy, as the lady of House Essex, daughter of the Master of Sail, who I recommended, understands that the house might want her to be doing other things, but she kind of rolls her shoulder and says, "It would be better that way."
It's like, well, speaking as Inos, master of ceremonies, and someone who spends a lot of the Marquess's money, I will let you know. I will let you know that we have purchased four corvettes and 2 frigates from Aren, and they're to be delivered here upon this fall, mostly coinciding with our raid of the Ivory Isles. I do say that, but come winter, Captain Nitona might not be so pressed for her abilities and ship, as it were.
This definitely that because you know you made this deal tonight.
Yeah.
That kind of catches Lucy, and she kind of, you know, goes a little wide, and she's like, "Goodness, 4 corvettes and 2 frigates of Marin make." She kind of pauses, and she's like, "Yes, you did have a longer than normal conversation with Lady Corb, didn't you?"
Yes, we're working out the particulars of the deal, and working out the particulars of the deal and getting them a bit fast-tracked to the area. I don't know how long it will take to have able-bodied crew and captain for them, but the hulls themselves at least will be here this fall.
Well, that would be something you'd want to talk to my father about for sure, as the Master of Sail, but, well, it's supposed to be the Biden's duty. I'm sure we can rustle up some sailors.
So for Captain Nightona... Actually, I don't know how she would feel on the subject. I always imagine you captains as, a particularly loyal lot, to your own ship. I don't know how she'll necessarily feel about, well, serving aboard another ship, especially when she has one of her own, but I will broach the subject with her, at the very least. At the very least, maybe
I feel like, again, Lucy kind of does her like lip pursing thing and says, well, typically for sailors, yes, captaincy is very important, especially in the Islas. But I don't know. Nitona was a wind witch first. My understanding is usually the wind witches don't rise to the state of captaincy on their own. It's kind of hard to command a ship and also, use magic to direct its sails at the same time. At least so I'm told. So having her available to help will work. I mean, if we don't mind... Lucy does kind of go a little sotto voce here, and she says, if we don't mind... Since we're just going to spend a lot of money on them, if we don't mind possibly thumbing our eye at them, could always see if there's any other wind witches who are looking for employment. A vacation in the north.
True enough. Like I said, so not like I said. Lady Maughan seemed to be of particular interest of Captain Nitona being in the area, so I think there might be more there to see. But some innocuous questions going around wouldn't hurt, and if they did hurt, well, it's me. I'll get over it. How about your crew? You think they're up to such an arduous task?
This she does kind of like, stand a little, square her shoulders, a little stand a little firmer and nod with, she's like, oh, yes, very well. As you well know, I've selected the Sea Wolf's crew from all of the best sailors available to me in the Bident. And the Marquess did say something about making sure everyone was compensated for working round the clock. It should probably be like round the bell on a ship, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
To make records. And at the end of it, they get to spend the winter in Celticy. I'm sure that'll be quite the motivation.
Inos ponders that, and it's like, so, we're gonna need good shots, a good navigator, possibly a wind witch or three, and make sure that everyone is paid and happy. That about sum it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you could secure the Lord of Wind and Wave's personal blessing, that'd be great too. If we're doing things, but I understand you've got a lot on your plate. Lucy says this in kind of a playfully sarcastic way, considering that she boated you guys around for the first half of the post time skip. She's seen the shit you guys are up to.
Inos, stops a moment. Stops and thinks about a moment. It's all like...
Just imagine Inos being like, no, never work.
No, it wouldn't work. But... we have been making some inroads with contacting the Mer recently. I wonder if anything can be done on that angle.
She kind of pauses and gets her own kind of quizzical look on her face, and then kind of just says, mostly as an idle observation, but is like, well, that could solve our Wind Witch problem. I'm fairly certain if I understand how sorceries work, she gives you a knowing look.
Heh.
The original Wind Witches would have learned from the Mer. And if some of the conversation I had with Sidwell Cowrie is correct, she kind of, again, shoots you one of those kind of, I guess, like I said, mixed, almost like ambivalent looks. Amar are
Ambivalent.
quite good at trade as well. They like cowrie shells.
Well, many things to think about. Many things to think. Many things to think about. Many plans to plan. Schemes to schemes. All that good nonsense. Anyway, my dear, I think. Well, no, sorry. Anyway, my dear, is there anything else you might need of me?
I'm just, as usual, your game master is pondering. I think Lucy just gives you a long aside look and just kind of like sips her drink, and she's just like, "No, not tonight. I don't think."
Oh, very well.
If nothing else, because I'm quite certain that if I left her in the lurch without saying our proper goodbyes, Ike Wayland would be quite annoyed at me.
Oh, we can't have Ike Whalen being we can't have Ike Whalen being annoyed. That's how someone gets a hammer upside the temple. But with that, Inos will say his goodbyes and leave Lucy to it.
Yeah, I don't actually. It is, since Aren said what Konrad was up to, I don't actually think we've got any other big goodbyes at the gala to cover. Anybody?
I can
Yeah.
do an
My main thing is for the weekend. So.
Well, I mean, the gala is on the weekend, so.
But Inos will go check in with Noctiluca as well, and he's going. We don't have to get Lincoln. He's going to inquire about if she knows anything about the monstrum attacks on the mines that Oro is going through right about now.
That's a very good question. Would she know? Yeah, I don't think she knows any details personally. Rear Mouse is one of the more martial houses of under Oro's banners, so she's heard that the mine has been forestalled and that there may have been some monstrum incidents, but she hasn't been directly involved. That's probably been through her father and his highest ranking knights.
Because out of character, forgive me if I do not remember correctly, Bar and Arrow basically asked for like some help in dealing with that, correct?
Yes, because he's dealing with the Talus.
The Talus.
Which are big stone boys.
Big stone boys.
Actually, I can pull it up right now because I'm pretty sure Leslok rolled on Student Monstrum and got some hits. So when asked about it, our good friend Mr. Talus, also known as a Stone Devil. Yes, they are completely unharmed by fire, wooden, and stone weapons. Fire deals 0 damage. Wood and stone deal 0 damage. And also, they're made of rocks, so they're even with the metal weapons, they're still armored.
And they're in,
Oro's been having trouble dealing with them because usually what they do against a really nasty monstrum is they throw fire bombs at it.
Okay, and what was the Marquess's response to this? Did he just say he promised support? Did he promise a particular type?
Let's see. Baron Oro asked you if he could lend some troops, and if it didn't get resolved, if there would be room for personal intervention. I'm pretty sure the discussion was that yes, you would make sure some of the appropriate mercenaries were sent as soon as possible, and that if it didn't get resolved by winter, you guys would take a look at it personally.
Okay.
I do believe that, and anybody feel free to correct me, but I do believe that the Marquess, that is Leslok, did not promise the help for free or anything. He just said that the request for troops would be passed along. Because you guys do have, as part of your trade deal, do have a whatchamacallit, an agreement to provide mercenaries and security. So this is just making sure we're specifically providing some of them. Yeah, he might try and hire them right away. Ah. Sorry. Got something in my eye. I mean, you guys, you don't set the prices for mercenaries. The mercenaries set the prices for mercenaries.
Okay. Inos will ask Noctiluca if she thinks that she is going to be like involved in any of the fighting in the mines with the Talos. With the Talos. Or is she going to be busy with other stuff in the next few months?
This probably gets her to give you a little bit of an aside calculating look, and she says that no, not directly. That is the I forget what it was called, but I have a place name for the mines, but those are in Oro held territory. So unless things got extremely dire, they would probably not draw on a bulk of troops from elsewhere.
Okay.
If the problem does indeed persist all the way till winter, and you guys decide to go down there, then maybe she'll pop in personally, but that would not, strictly speaking, be in her duties. That's the word I'm looking for. I was going to say wheelhouse, but duties works. That's a normal word.
Dude.
Okay. All right. Oh.
So I did hear what Dallas said, so I'm detonating Nicola with my mind.
Okay. Well, I guess there's no real need to move forward with that idea right now. But Inos will, nod and move on to the other topic. Specifically, Noctiluca is taking place in the tourney, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, she's in our bracket.
Yeah. In the intermediate bracket, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Journeyman.
It's like,
Oh, journey woman.
Isn't technically journeyman a gender neutral term?
I think it can be. I'm not actually sure what people bother about with.
I've just always heard it as journeyman. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm insane.
It's also
insane in the main brain.
Insane in the brain!
I sensed that one coming.
Sense a disturbance in the force.
But, yeah, Inos will just remark, after the tourney, he'll have his prize ready for her. So, await with it.
Let's beat me to it.
Await it with bated breath.
That gets her to laugh a little, and be like, oh really? Well, then I'll make sure I have to double my efforts.
That's good. Inos will then say his goodbyes there. And Inos does also want to say his goodbyes to Princess Estelle, mostly to, figure out if, was the concerted effort to convince, I forgot the queen's name all of a sudden.
Well, you could just say the queen. It's
The queen.
Guermina, if you really want to, but yeah, you could just say the queen.
If the effort to persuade the queen was like successful, or the Xenos actually fuck. Because I remember that was going to be a thing. Like, we're gonna have to thing. But Menaeus was all like, "Nah, fam, I got you."
Well, he was gonna kick it off, but no,
Yeah.
they did not actually group up in that. We did not do that scene.
All right.
If Inos wanted to actually, because you offered to actually, lend your voice and support, we did
Yes.
not actually have that moment. So
Yes. So
you could do that at the gala. You could do that later. Because you're not gonna be in the tournament.
I feel like it'd probably be better to do it now rather than waiting for everyone to be busy with the tourney.
That's fair. That's fair. You can catch her at the gala. You literally roleplay this out with like 2, now 3 different characters, so we don't need to make a big deal out of it. Go ahead and roll Fascinate. That is the pool for one-on-one persuasion. Well, technically it's multi-on-one, but
3 10s.
Damn.
right, yeah, beauty 3. Yeah, you take the ones and then they go to 10. Yes. Yeah, no. Like I said, Menace broaches it first, and goes through, and then you Enos strategically pop in to just be like, oh, it'd be no trouble at all, kind of a thing, Since you are the master of ceremonies, you pick your moment, and you of course are Enos, so you're all smiles, all flattery. I'm pretty well. You've had years to work on it, also, but I'm also pretty sure that the queen did not succeed in a unwholesome role. Literally 3 years ago. So it's not like she she doesn't hold that against Enos. I don't know if she holds other things against Enos. But you being your charming, splendiferous self. Yes, so you've got you're assembling a large gang.
Yeah.
And that'll come up later when we're ready to get into that. But that will be the immediate next thing after summer.
Yes. And I do believe. Yes. No, I'll have conversations about Estelle's future plans later. I've been holding this up enough, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that just for formatting reasons, as yonder game master, I would prefer if your conversation attempts with Lady Marin happened sooner in the week rather than later. But at the very least, we can get some tournament stuff done, because you're going to do that at night, right?
Yes.
In the evening. Yeah.
Yes.
So at the
Do
very
have
least,
one.
Like we don't have to do the entire tournament.
I do have one thing I want to do before, because I forgot how the timetables were.
Yeah. What's up?
So I would like to, after the gala, probably I would probably head back with the rest of the House Logi to Castle.
I mean, you're in the
I
castle.
almost.
So
Oh, we're in the.
yeah, you did in the
Of course,
bailey.
yeah. Okay. So I'm going to actually afterwards. I'm going to try and corner Aurelia.
No, she was there. Yeah.
Is she entering the beginners tournament bracket?
Yeah, you can see her right there.
Okay,
Actually,
I
no, you
would
can't see
be.
her right there because
No, yeah, the beginners are not on there.
Flip that.
Yeah.
But yes, she's in it.
No. All right, cousin. Do you want to get one last night of practice in before the tournament?
Oh, that's sort of freak. She's like,
Oh yeah. I will.
what?
Because.
I mean, I feel
I
like
believe
Aurelia's
we have the
decent at
same
response.
fighting styles, right?
Oh no. She has moved past you. She no longer.
Oh,
is
she's
focused on
knife
throwing
and
knives. She's on
she's
proper
knife and sword.
Well, no, she uses
Oh.
2 short swords now,
Right.
which
Okay.
are technically like quote unquote long knives. They're dagger adjacent because they're big, broad fighting knives. So they're short swords. But yes, she's been being drilled in short 2 short swords style.
Regardless,
But
I
she's
still
still
wanted to get
learn a
some
little bit of
practice
that.
in.
Like I said, I think Aurelia's first instinct would be to be like, flip hair. Oh, I don't need any practice. But definitely it would be the kind of thing of like, well, if you need some practice.
One could always use to sharpen their skills.
Just so long as we don't practice too late. You want to...
Of course.
She does phrase it as, you want a full night of rest before all that fighting.
Of course. Why am I talking like this? Sorry. Of course.
You have a different accent.
Yes, no. Brain needed to catch up to my mouth. Accent is part of brain.
The accent
Yeah.
lives in the speech center.
No, I wanted to get in some practicing because I believe, I just wanted to get some practicing in to justify why some of my skills have increased.
Mhm.
And I feel
That's
like I've had a thing going with Aurelia in terms of like, we both like stabbing things.
I think she likes
I don't
stabbing
know.
things more than you. But yeah, you...
No,
it was...
but
I believe it
I'm a
was
stabbing,
canon that we
look,
talked about
I'm a
that
stabbing
she learned her first...
appreciator.
You're a connoisseur
She's
of
a
the stabbing arts.
connoisseur. No, I'm an appreciator. She is a connoisseur.
Yes, I see. Yeah. It was, I believe, previously established when she was originally, before Moira got hired on, going to go down the two knives path, that she picked up knife throwing from Nicola.
Yes.
Because that is as we like to joke, that is the way Nicola rolls, where he is, the doctor, the cousin, etc. But he would definitely be like, oh, well, you need to know which side of the knife to hold to throw. Here, look at this, cuz.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I should have done my brogue if I'm going to do my Nicola impression. Look, cousin, at my throw. Aurelia will definitely be like she'll be like, if you want to get some real practice in, I can always call, fencing master Moira in.
No, that could go badly.
All right, you lost.
Plus, I want to save some things for. Wait, no, she's not in our bracket. I don't have to worry about that. Never mind.
Yeah, you certainly
she
do
would
not yet.
stop our bracket.
None of you guys watched Moira kill a ghost with a sword, so
I also wanted to more than just practice. I do also want to improve bonds with family. So
Inos did see
I'm following.
Moira win a duel by
And look,
throwing her sword at somebody.
half of our family's love language is fighting, so
I did constantly do this reference in Aurelia's fiction about, the daughter of fire and iron. Like there is some symbolism here, yeah.
No. She's not the
Also,
most
yes, by the way, that's
happy member of their house, but she's up there.
I'd have to double check if Aurelia's up to that technique level or not. But that's like the fourth step in the Southern style, is you get to throw your sword at somebody as a free attack before the round starts.
Yeet.
Which is what Moira did to win that duel, where she was just like, oh, I get a free sword attack?
That is actually a question I had regarding the tournament. Are they providing the weapons, or are we supposed to bring the blunted weapons ourselves?
You guys are richer than dirt right now. Rich as kings, some might say. So I'm pretty sure the tournament can provide you all the necessary materials.
Okay. My other question is, how many daggers am I allowed to bring?
Oh, that is actually a very good question. The style did get a little loose. I'm pretty sure that technically throwing your weapon at the opponent is like a minor infraction. Like, I think you're not actually supposed to do it in the tournament because that's harder to pull your punch on. And also, if you miss, you could hit somebody in the crowd. That would be bad.
But if I don't try and hit them with the dagger I'm throwing?
Yeah. You should still be able to carry some spares, like, because we do have.
I wasn't gonna go crazy. I was thinking like 4.
I'm not gonna carry like 4.
Go in with a bandolier of like 20 daggers. I'm not an actual movie store.
Yeah,
No,
that's not normally what Nicola does. But yeah, you can easily carry like that many daggers in your belt. Yes.
Also, the other elephant in the room. So am I gonna have to disarm?
No.
Okay.
Because your extra limb does not. Well, I mean, it gives you mechanical benefit in that it removed your what your problem. That's the mechanical word for that. But
It also
so
does have
long as
AR.
you don't try and strike anybody in the
Gotcha.
normal tournament with it, you don't get any. Well, you get
No
armor, but again,
punching.
that doesn't matter because it's to score. So like, yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, no punching.
the extra shock damage it does doesn't
Gotta
like
remember that.
affect anything. I don't think you get. Yeah, for lifeless limb, you don't get a bonus to like attack or parry with that arm, right? It's just
No.
you get armor in it and you deal extra damage.
Yeah.
And you might have an extra hitbox. I don't know. It
I
should
do
not
have an extra
matter
hitbox, yes, but
because you're not actually trying to fight to the sake of fighting. Like it's not a knockdown
No.
drag out.
yeah, I gotta remember I cannot do my automatic bear hug grab when I'm in the tournament. Cannot do that.
No, you are not supposed to grapple. That is actually one of them rules is about unnecessary physical
Wow.
contact.
No.
Okay, so Nicola gets some last minute practice in. Anything else the night of the gala before the tournament starts? We have officially said our goodbyes. The gala ended with that huge fireworks display that I described previously.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Konrad
Alright.
has something.
All right.
So, question for Loth: did Logesh escort Inara home effectively?
I was about to comment and then realized I forgot I muted myself. Yes, he would.
Okay. So, Konrad's waiting for you when you get back. And he's carrying 2 practice swords. And without a word, he literally tosses one at Logesh's feet. Do you want to talk to me while you're eyeing me like you plan murder, or do you want to hit me with a sword?
I didn't pick up, but I sighed. You know what? Logesh is just gonna pick up the sword.
Hey man, everything okay? You are? When'd you get home? Oh man, I didn't even hear you come in. It's my bad. Never mind. Oh, nothing. I didn't hear you come home at all. Oh, I was sneaky. No, I was worried because, still getting home 45 minutes ago, you were gone for 8 hours? Because you came in, it's like, are you doing the costume? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I gotta go to work. I'm like, what? Yeah. What happened?
Kitchen dumped an Evergreen.
Oh, really?
The only problem is the guy in Evergreen's on vacation.
Oh. Weren't able to, access stuff?
Well, no. I have to do it. Because he's not an Evergreen.
Oh.
You know?
So there are a
Yes.
lot of unnamed jobbers for you to beat up also.
Oh, he's
Yes,
on
no.
deafened. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay,
I didn't
I
actually think about that.
Okay.
Well, that's why I typed something, because I saw you BRB and then go deafened, and I was like, wait a minute, if you're deafened, that will mute the Discord output. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
paused
no,
my
should-
end.
I
and
should
we
have
were
just said. I should have
talking.
just muted. Then I forgot about deaf and muted, but I had to go have a conversation with somebody.
That's okay. That's all right. I paused the audio end. I don't know if that means OBS recorded nothing for a little bit, but if it did, you got to at least see the text chat go by. Not that it was a lot, but okay. All right. Where was we? Logesh just picked up the wooden sword. That's where we left off.
Yes.
Yeah, and walking over toward the training area. I don't know if Nicola and Aurelia are still there.
Probably, unless Nicola's like planning on a short set of spar.
All right, well, Konrad doesn't care at this point, so he'll just move out into
Yeah.
the training yard and square up against Logesh.
I feel like me and Aurelia just look at each other and just go, eh.
Drug.
All right.
And
Okay,
Konrad's
I
waiting
mean-
for Logesh to attack.
Well, I don't know, because you did change your stats, but I'm pretty sure Logesh still has the lower sense.
I did buff sense to 3 now.
I still think that's lower, bud.
Yeah. What sense does
Konrad.
have? 4? 5?
5.
Damn.
Yeah, so Logesh would, if it was a fight, Logesh would declare first. So what's your first move?
You know what? He challenged me. He's clearly from the looks of it, he's clearly wanting to counter me when I go into attack. So fuck it, I'll give it to him. I'll go into attack with the sword.
All right.
All right.
Comrade, he has declared sword. What is your declaration?
Parry.
Roll him.
Parry blade. So, are you going to say anything? Are you going to explain yourself?
You saying that in character?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Give me a second. I'm trying to get into the right, because I know what Logesh is bothered about. It's just the problem of if I know I came along with us to watch this.
I mean, I assume not. I was waiting for you to return without her, so.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Like I
Konrad's
said,
waiting.
I typed earlier. The Espada is bunked in your guest quarters here, so it would be very short to like escort her back to her room.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. All right, well, still works.
No, yeah, they wouldn't be out here.
Okay. How would he fucking phrase this in when you've made a neurodivergent character and you're also neurodivergent, but not the same type of neurodivergent.
Oh no.
Because I know I've made this guy smarter than me. Fuck.
Yeah, I feel that pain all the time.
Yeah, it's fucking debuff.
It's why I have imposter syndrome with myself.
Well, if you need more inspiration, as the spark continues, like Konrad will continue to dig at this. Like what is it? Do you want? Do you want me interacting with her? Do you want me talking with her? Do you want me seeing her at all? What about when I fight her in the tournament? Do you want me to give up the match against her?
Well, okay, hold on. Let's at least maybe roll one set of dice before, like, that sounds digging into Logesh here. But I think the problem is, hopefully, Aren, you know what it is that's up with Logesh.
I mean, not exactly. I mean, I know, like you said previously, like you didn't.
How many dice in sense plus empathy does Konrad roll these days?
8.
Hmm. Well, I feel like Konrad should roll that pool right about now.
Okay.
While
you are
he is
trying to get a
rolling
read on
that,
this guy.
because I'm having difficulty explaining this in character, out of character to everyone else here and the audience. Logesh is slightly upset because A, he is well aware of how fight sexual Konrad is, how much he loves that fight. B, he has been ridiculed for courting Ainara and also getting stabbed through the heart. C,
Metaphorically.
I'm still also playing into my craving. And D, the idea that Konrad has reciprocated to Ainara's jests and jabs about fighting in the tournament, and Konrad showing interest, knowing how much he loves a good fight, has rekindled that old jealousy that Logesh feels towards the siblings of the now main family head.
I asked earlier, is Logesh at any point during this fight / conversation trying to cover up his true feelings from Konrad? Because if so, I need you to roll charm plus lie. If not, Konrad's 2 8s. I think he's figured you out, pal.
Let's see. Fuck off. Sorry, I just saw the gif. Would he lie about this? You know what? Because I am playing into the jealous aspect, he will lie.
He would try and
I just don't know what he will lie about.
You don't necessarily have to like figure out what the lie is. Just it's if you are trying to oppose empathy.
No,
that's 2 1s. That does not beat 2 8s. So Konrad, through the spar, you pick up on the things that Loth has just described about Logesh kind of out of character. You can also pick up on the fact that Logesh is attempting to cover up those feelings from you, but he's having a hard time doing it, probably because he's so steamed, not unlike a ham.
Okay, so shall I roll my sword now, or shall we do more roleplay?
Sure, roll your sword.
You see, I'm not jealous. There's an aurora borealis right there. Okay. 9d10. And, since I got a master die. 3 10s or 4 9s?
Well, if you do 4 9s, that would be more shock damage. That'd be harder to stop.
4 9s.
4 9s, huh? Okay.
Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure you've got at least 1 in Tetsudo school, and you might have more.
Well,
I think the first.
Well, I'm going to go through with what I was planning before I knew what his role was, and Konrad doesn't block it.
God damn it! God.
You declare you say you lie and say you're going to parry, but you're not going to parry.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be technically. I think he's using a practice sword, so that'll be 5 shock to your torso. If you don't resist at all.
Well, that can be rough. I can get it off.
It's only shock.
Shake it
using
off.
Practice weapons. But yeah, no. Konrad does the most Byronic move of all time. He's like, "Look at me, hit me," and he takes it on the chin. Well, in the chest, but
The chin chest.
He does the Beowulf speech, but fails his charisma check.
It's the leper animation of like the leper just puts their arms on and takes the hit.
He's broken animation.
I couldn't find an animation just taking a hit.
Also, that's Scorpion right there.
It's fine.
Well, if you need any more proof, we could deal with it in the tournament. But if that doesn't prove it for you that I'm not interested in her in that way, then I don't know what will.
At this point,
And Konrad will stumble towards his room.
I
didn't
think
even give me
as you
chance
start to stumble,
sack
just
back.
Aurelia appears like at your elbow.
I just wanted a healing potion to be thrown in Minecraft style from off screen.
Except the healing potion does just enough shock damage that it causes him to collapse.
No.
No, my torso.
I mean, you can do
torso's thicker than
aromatica.
that.
You could do the burst, but yeah, no.
Uh,
I think
to keep in the theme with this, and also because he's slightly, still gonna be bitchy about it. Yeah, he is gonna be bitchy. He will just toss, as Konrad is walking away, Logesh will toss the fucking practice sword into him before walking away.
Bounce.
Yeah,
Platter.
like it's not even meant to be like an attack, just like meh.
very
Whoa,
quietly
practice
to
sword
just
being
Konrad. Aurelia asks you, "Are we offended by that?" As she just stares at the sword.
No.
All right. I'll get him
Most
back
natural
later.
thing he's done ever.
Kind of. She'll like I said, help you back. Gesture for Nicola to come closer.
Yup.
Thank you, Aren. I did. You can't. The mic didn't pick it up. I did a fucking clap when you said that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a healing check.
It's for the dramatique.
I
The
know. Yes,
passion.
this is perfect. Like I said, this is truly dramatic as hell. We're doing it.
Boys.
But also, like, I would
Sorry,
like to
men.
remind everybody that Oh, you didn't.
Oh,
you,
God
did,
damn
you
it.
did it. You
jeez.
didn't roll instead of Polly.
I did it.
Too many.
I fucked up.
But I would like to remind everybody that Aurelia's craving is all about revenge. And like, so if that had seriously bothered Konrad, she probably would have done something unfortunate to Logesh.
3-4.
I wake
for
up and there's
healing.
just a fucking horse head next to me.
All right.
Oh no, it wouldn't be you go to sleep.
So
She would
you
probably throw a knife at your
you
back.
heal half your shot. So this is a success, I believe. I believe that's how it works, right?
I think it's
Half rounded
width.
up?
What's your widest set for?
It would be 4s because I would add the master
So
dice
3.
to.
So I heal 3.
So 3
Yeah,
4s.
you remove 3,
I rest off
and
the
I
other
believe you'll
2.
heal 1 for sure. Naturally, you heal 1 for sure.
Well, I'm also going to use my
overnight.
breathing technique
Yeah.
before I go to bed, so I'll be
I
fine.
was gonna say, I
Also,
believe you
Yeah.
cover the rest.
Also, the scene is over, so I guess you heal half your shark.
Actually, true. Yeah, you'd heal 1 anyway, so you might heal it all before you even go to bed.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all I wanted to do in the evening. So
Oh, good. Honestly, I think if you guys had gone for trading blows, Moira probably would have stepped in. But with just one Conrad tanks that one hit and done. It's perfect actually. Moira will mentally put Logesh higher on her. Does this guy need a life lesson conversation? But she will leave it for now. Because of course, Moira was watching. Yeah. We've talked about pipe smoking.
I'm sorry, you said pipe, and my first immediate thought was just.
I
knew-
hear
I
it's
knew
a
it
fucking
was coming.
finely crafted wooden pipe, but it's made out of stone for some reason.
Well, no, Enos doesn't smoke.
No, the bit is that you'd have one that doesn't have anything in it, but you're just holding it for the visual aesthetic.
Oh my god, that would be perfect. Enos wears a smoking jacket and has a pipe. Is there anything in it? No. It's just for the look.
Are you crazy?
It's for the painting.
All right, okay. If there are no further things in the Eventide, we shall move on to the morrow with the tournament. Do you got to roll it? Well, actually, you don't have to even pure breathe if you recover one of your shocks at the end of the scene. But if you need to roll anything to pure breath, you can roll. If it's for free, though, you can just be like, "Nah, I'm good."
think it would be, but you mentioned I'll get another one overnight, so yeah, it's fine.
You could do more to cleanse yourself, but it turns out that Nicola is pretty good at a doctor. So when he, slaps a cold compress over you, you find that you have managed to I won't say you're unbruised, but like, your bruising's very minimal.
Yeah.
No swelling. You didn't crack any ribs.
So fun fact, I actually came up with something that Nicola would do for bruising, which is basically I would dip my fingertips in Novum Glacius, essentially to provide like a very short cooling touch time to relieve the inflammation.
I was actually thinking that you have some sort of like
Hot.
numbing nerve that you would rub on the affected area.
That could be
That
too, but
would kind of be the. I mean, you might have some herbs, but Nicola could also use.
that would be for like
Like,
more
alchemy directly.
extreme cases.
Nothing like a little bit of light
Geologist.
poison on the skin.
Yeah.
There are many talents. All right. Okay.
To be fair, humans are the only species I know that look at poisonous things and go, I love this, I'm gonna make it my food.
I mean, we are. I do believe there are some animal species that are like that with like spicy peppers and stuff, but humans are the only ones who've turned it into a bulk trade to just be like,
Most people
oh,
don't
this
acknowledge.
tastes awful. It's trying to kill me. Give me more of this shit.
Most people don't acknowledge peppers as like trying to kill it. They just like it's the challenge. For better or
It's
worse.
delicious. I will say, if anybody is curious how the previous night went, for sure, at breakfast, Aurelia goes out of her way to not look at Logesh or talk to him at all.
Luckily, I'm not here with you guys for breakfast because I had to go back home for my guests.
Yeah, you're hosting them.
yeah.
So I don't have to deal with this.
Inos looks left, looks right, left again.
And then crosses the road. Wow, the silence is deafening.
Yeah.
Nom 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 nom. Conrad is eating like normal.
Distracted a little there. Delicious scone.
Well, no one's saying,
What?
no one's saying anything. Inos don't say anything either for now. He feels
No, Aurelia would definitely. Aurelia has enough graces. She would not bring it up at breakfast, especially because there would be non-house people there,
Yeah.
around. So she would not talk about it. If you wanted to bring it up with her later privately, she might mention it to Master Spiderweb over there. But yeah, she's not going to say anything.
Master Spiderweb, who?
It's you. You're the spider, the spinner of webs.
Beams.
Fingers in every pie? Would you prefer to be Pie Man?
That does sound worse. They call me the
called you-
baker.
I mean that sounds like a code web.
That sounds like
Web
that sounds
coding.
like a fun little like comedically way to hide a dark thing.
Sweeney Todd.
Bob's the baker. Oh, we know we're talking about the meat pies. Okay, all right. But it is the first day of the tournament. I will discuss the rules a little to remind everybody and to let listeners who have not had the benefit of reading the between chats talk about. So, the tournament's going to run for a week. The initial week will basically be I guess you would say what would it be, like a qualifying system? It would be like Swiss rounds at a card game tournament. You need to score so many points per day to continue to the next day. And if you make it all the way to the end of the week, we will have a proper single elim bracket at the end. So this will mean we get to simplify some of our rules out there. Everybody's been ranked into appropriate classes, of which there are going to be several different members. But if you are looking to pursue any, check in on any matches, the apprentice tier is full of several familiar faces. You obviously have, as mentioned, Aurelia Logi, but also Huron. And also representing you lot will be Ember Palick, as was brought up to Logesh. She is participating. Due to her youth, Paloma Espada is in this tier. You've also got Marvena Lind, who is Dame Rosenroth's squire. You've got Echna Cheval. The older two Cheval siblings have declined. As has been previously established, Egan Ferretti is not a good fencer, so he is still in this tier. And actually, he would probably still be... He would be with staff than with blade. You've also got Eleron Marin, Vauclin Rearmouse, Clavel Ghouls, Sienna Olfen also representing because she. I know this was surprising to Lucky when I brought this up earlier, but yeah, she's a knife fighter.
Yeah.
What weapon does Ilarion use? Out of curiosity.
She is a saber fencer or with cutlass.
Ah, so like a brother. Okay.
Yeah, she is a as far as we can tell in the tournament because she can't do any sick kicks. She is saber style.
Yeah.
Also joining is one of the marriageable cousins at this level, Viera Oro, who you guys did run into at the melee. She was on the Oro team.
Is she the person I firebombed? Or thunderbombed, technically?
No, you weren't in the melee, so
Yeah,
that was when the
oh
two
no,
youngs-
right. That's when we got attacked.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was not that match, but yes, she was in the tournament. That's the one you guys won fairsy and squaresy. You could have potentially thunderbombed her though, because that was Paz Oro's strat. was
Look,
throw shit.
great minds think alike.
In the journeyman rank, you have, of course, the two princes, Alias and Venos. You've got Everhelm Ferran representing the home team.
Ooh.
Obviously, you have, the home team is expanded as well. You're also including Konrad, Logesh, and Nicola. But Everhelm was the one major NPC player we've got in there. You've got Brandon Drake, Ainara Espada, of course. Jansaya Sinkeda, who is Rodrigo's second.
Okay. Yeah.
Caudron Woodwose and Yvette Forrest are entering as well. Ilarion's Cavalier, Kamaria Celeste, is in. She's also a saber fencer. Noctiluca Rimas is in this tier along with Airless Ake. Viera Ora's older sister, Paciencia. Agnar Bloodaxe is in this, and also so is Reschools and Florimel Melibo.
Who's that last one?
That is Egan's new Cavalier, quote unquote, the fairy,
Oh,
the lady
Yeah.
of honeybees.
I was about to say that name is certainly something.
Yeah, Florimel Melibo.
It sounds like a tongue twister.
Pretty.
Very nice name. And in the
See, that's my
master
preference.
bracket, you have quite a few high level people. We've including, of course, representing the home team, Moira Dejan, fencing
Ooh.
master of House Logi. You've also got Rosenrot Logi is in there as well.
grudge
You've
match.
got your sergeant at arms, Tancred Ferran, and your head constable, Emery Palick himself. He's also showed up. He is also like his daughter, Lichtenritter style. You've got Amalia Whitestone, who is captain of the Queen's Guard. I'm pretty sure she's sword and board. Rodrigo Espada, obviously. Frederick Ferretti has showed up. He's going to be proper fencing it. Vernon Woodwose. Third Baroness Sasia Oro. She is not just sabers, but she's two sabers. She's a sword dancer. Nictimo Rearmouse. Lioness Lampago, that is the Lady Magister's Cavalier. Holler Ech. And also representing the Iron Demons, Javira Eliklan. She took the handicap Enos didn't want to.
Yeah. What, is she doing hell hooks? Well, would have done hell hooks?
Yeah, I mean she wouldn't be knives, she would be a one hook sword, but yes.
Ooh.
So she will take, as I said, take the handicap and still attempt to show her stuff. I think it's the first time we've actually made that joke about Tancred Ferran, by the way. Because there's no TH in it, but I can't believe we've gotten so far without, I think, somebody actually saying that.
I think we've all been thinking it. I just haven't particularly said it.
But the way this is going to work with the scoring is for the weekly rounds. I'm going to ask everybody participating to roll your dice. PCs, anyway. I'm not rolling for every NPC. We'll figure it out later. Whatever be appropriate. And you're just going to roll whatever your appropriate, weapon skill attack would be, whatever your attack pool would. Your rolls are at difficulty 3. because you have to hit above the belt. Otherwise, you're just rolling it out. To remind you of the rules.
Sorry.
Now, difficulty 3 just means sets that aren't 3 or higher don't count.
Oh, right.
Because you have to hit,
penalty.
like I said, above the legs. Yeah, no penalties. It's just a difficulty is required. So Master gives you pretty good ones in this. The general rules are basically everybody, like I said, you'll be provided with coats, like white padded coats that are dyed white, fencing masks of some sort, all the appropriate gear. And basically, everyone is going to be armed with blunted weapons that are going to be scored with a bright red dye to stand in for blood. And the judges will be looking out. Usually there's ideally 3 judges to observe. To look for red markers. You're going to be doing this at a pitch, a field, which is about 15 yards apart. So you got a little space to work.
Is the padding armored at all?
It would technically be like a gambeson for like 1 armor. I'm not actually dealing you guys shock damage at this stage. Because we're simplifying it out to 1 roll.
Is Nicola hasty enough to request he go without the padded shirt? Or is that
no? You gotta put the shirt on.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough.
It's for safety. I understand that you can be armored without being armored, but it is to preserve safety just in case, and it is part of the scoring is to look for the marks.
And honestly, thinking about it, wearing the fencing mask with no garrison will look really silly.
Yeah, that's a wrestling bit. Literally, just stripped to the waist, but wear a fencer mask.
Yeah, no, that Nicola would not do that.
From Street Fighter.
But I believe I only get armor in every area except my head. So.
Yeah, I think it's shoulders down normally.
No, it's not my
belt
feet.
Up.
Weird.
Upper body, your arms. Well, it's good because your legs aren't even part of the valid strike zone. So, upper body, arms, not wrists and hands, nor above the neckline. Again, I mentioned this before. There's no actual card system that was invented in like the 60s as a way to simplify how sports penalties are handed out. But I can use an analogy to cards for you guys in that, you will get penalties based on certain things. So unnecessary physical contact or delays is a yellow card, which would be like you're probably penalized, you're given a warning. At best, penalized, like the round is stopped to assign the penalty, kind of a thing, and reset. Red card gives a point to the opponent. That's any unnecessarily violent or vindictive acts, failure to submit to inspection of equipment, falsifying your markings, or otherwise disturbing the sanctity of the match. And a black card would be which is an automatic loss. It would be any manifest forms of cheating, including using sorcery, or any other serious breaches of protocol. So long as you can, everybody will, keep it pretty normal and run it through. So I would like all of our participants for the first day to go ahead and roll your appropriate attack pool. We're trying to hit a difficulty of 3.
6 is torso, right? Or is that 7, 8, 9?
We're not rolling about to hit. No.
Well, no, because I'm trying to make sure it's not.
So.
I have an expert dice, so not a master dice.
6 is probably a fair call.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would give you
4 3s.
Giga 3s, yeah.
I stabbed the shit out of their shin.
4 8s.
Jesus.
4 3s.
It counts. The difficulty is 3 and up.
Yep.
Because that would technically be one of the arms. All of you guys make it through the first day. Quite well, honestly. Like I'm pretty sure you guys get matched up with some randos on day 1. You may do 1 or 2 matches to get your point scores. And
your name is Phil Johnson. I'm so sorry.
What's the Spanish for red? Rojo. What's the? I should look up what the Spanish word for shirt is.
Rojo Pedro.
Pedro Rojo.
I should
El
have.
Rojo Muerte.
I mean, that's basically just saying like John Red, essentially.
I can't find it.
It would be John Redshirt.
It is I,
was-
John Sandbag. He is your
Uh,
opponent.
I don't
I
know.
was looking for a GIF when Dallas talked about how he would just have to be shirtless with a mask on. I was looking for the Elden Ring pothead guy.
Oh yeah.
Let me say,
Yeah,
Rojo Camisa.
couldn't find it though.
Rojo camise. Oh yeah, like a camise. I get it. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
no.
nice.
You guys are killing it round one. You win your matches easily. You probably take a couple of hits back and forth. I did not really talk about to you guys like if you wanted to split your pools to like, defend, but it does not matter. You're going crazy hits.
I mean, I would be parrying and attacking at the same time. Or technically dodging and attacking, but
I think several of you have some defensive options to pick from. So yeah, these guys are riding high, scoring hits. Leslok, Inos, what are you guys doing for the rest of your day?
God.
Oh, I should probably actually make sure I finish enchanting Noctiluca's weapons before that gets away from me. So he'll be spending the day spellcasting.
Who is that?
I'm gonna be watching Konrad's matches, and then otherwise, I'm probably just gonna go hang out with Star or Narissa or Kefis.
Yeah, Kefis is not in because he has a
He's
little bit
busy.
of staff skill, but he doesn't want to.
I'd probably write up a note if you like.
No.
I probably get a note sent to him being like, if you want to just like, I can make an excuse to get to a place to like dust to hang out, but nothing serious.
He doesn't need it. He can slide around.
Outside of that, really not much. But I make sure to watch all Konrad's matches. I will also probably watch Logesh matches that they're like not at the same time.
Oh, do I want to? Would I? Honestly, no. I think some matches are scheduled for the same time, but I don't know. They're probably set to be on like rolling schedules, so that if people want to observe, they can see, multiple chances to see people. We are also abstracting the boys probably get at least a couple of matches, like one in the morning, one in the afternoon type stuff, if not more. I don't actually know how tight a like Olympic fencing tournament bout would be. That's like 4 fucking 9s.
But that's 6 hours to awaken the blade. And
The
then
blade is awakened.
The blade is awakened. And then let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? Wait, if it's gemstone for that. And then where is it? There it is. Six. And what? Wait, shit. What?
God, man, we really have been going. So I'm just thinking about how ham we've been going on court and stuff. I'm just like, man, it's been a while since the boys sat down and did some spell casting.
It's true.
Like Leslok's, I think, cast at least a couple of casual spells, but we haven't had like downtime casting. It's not every day leading up to Fogvale Trip 2, he enchanted another coin type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Love Iron Without Fear, so that's 3. So, okay.
Downtime, we love downtime.
So, this is for Gemstone Soul. I'm enchanting a Fire Quartz for protection against metal. That does it. And then Teach the Soul on the same gem will be Love Iron Without Fear, which is 3rd on the Iron Demons metal heart. So
That makes the intensity to cast it 3?
yes. Also good. I have a master die. But all told, this is going to take 16 hours.
That is basically an entire day.
Yes. Inos gets up a little early, gets started, takes a couple breaks for food, and is working late into the night. You basically do not see him all day. He does not go to any matches. But Noctiluca's trick S-Stock is completed, and her jeweled scabbard is enchanted. Now he's gonna put all that
Nice.
in, put all that in a nice, lovely box along with the awakened heavy balestra, and he's gonna wait.
Honestly, if only other than to give an excuse to see if you want to ask about breakfast, it's probably in the evening Aurelia who checks on you. Definitely not because she was disappointed you didn't come to see how good she is at hitting people with swords, but also because she knows workshop mode. So probably come to ask you about, what great enchantering you've done.
Well, Enos will show off the trick S-Stock and the device. I've actually decided that the way that the trick works is that the handle is actually 2 pieces. And to basically release the blade, you have to twist it one way and it undoes the clasp. But to set it back, you have to basically ratchet it back the other way into a locked position.
Ooh, yes. That's very clever.
So it does mean, though, that if you're not careful with your grip, you could accidentally pop the blade. You cannot hold you cannot hold the handle too tightly, which is generally not what you want to do anyway.
Well, yeah, no, you don't want to. You want to hold it comfortably.
Yeah.
Everybody at home, this is why sword hilts are usually wrapped in a material like leather, which is designed to be a little elastic but also grippy.
Yes. But yes, Enos will demonstrate, the trick SI part, and behold, the leaf blade folds out into 3 parts, so that if you try to stick any monster with it, there's very little chance it'll just slip between the bones. It's like last thing you want to do is be fighting a boar and just have the blade just go straight through. And he's like, ugh. But also, Enos will ask, how badly did you thrash her opponents? Enos fully does not believe that Aurelia would have lost at all, which is why.
Oh yeah, no.
Which is one of the reasons why he didn't feel like he needed to go show support.
No, she'll definitely take the compliment. Let me double check. It's been a while since I looked. How many dice is Aurelia into hitting people with swords now?
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, she gets a shitload of bonus. Well, no, actually, she doesn't, because she doesn't have her flying steel sword. But that's why she does that normally. She's doing very well. Yes. She kind of, preens a little to just be like, oh well, no bother.
I guess
Most of the competition's in the higher brackets.
Oh, it's true. Well, actually, did Aurelia give off any indicator? No, actually, Inos will roll empathy to see if he picks up that Aurelia might have wanted him to come watch her matches. Let me do that real quick. Because knowing Aurelia, she would not just straight up be like, "Why didn't you come see my matches?"
True.
But might be able to pick.
Like, I think even without you rolling empathy, I think you can imply that's part of the reason why she came to check in on you. But also, she knows Enos very well.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Oh, you've nobody's seeing you all day. You've been working." 7th, yeah, she's not trying to hide it. Aurelia probably doesn't necessarily feel like she needs Inos specifically to come see her matches. While you have been kind of lucky, I should say, you've been struggling back and forth with like how martial Inos wants to be. That is not necessarily what Aurelia goes to Inos for. You are her mentor, her senior, her senpai in soul crafting. Her sword tutor is Moira, and Moira is very good at that. But it is day 1, and nobody did say explicitly that they were going to go check in on Aurelia's matches. So she maybe feels like a little put out that nobody like explicitly came to see her. Obviously, you guys might have seen one of her, 1 or 2 of her matches in passing, but like I said, nobody went out of their way, and it's already the end of the day, so it's a little sour potatoes.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
That's my fault.
no,
I mean, you said, well, you explicitly did say it. You're going to watch Konrad matches for sure, and then you're going to spend time hanging out thinking about stuff.
I was in matches, so
Yeah,
But
I would hope Alestra might have gone to see her matches, though. Or would she have seen mine?
actually, that's
I
a
probably
very-
wanted her. I would probably want her to go see Aurelia's. Because I feel like I don't deserve this.
I'm
support.
gonna be saying, like, we should not-
Alestra watched you.
Not dwelling
Yeah,
too much.
But yeah,
That's
go
fair.
for it, Enos.
But
you were building up to thought, Lucky.
yes, but Inos will be like, well, that's the majority of my work done, so I'll have a lot more free time. I do have some other plans throughout the week, but I'll be making sure to catch my students' future matches from here on out. Oh,
She kind of smiles a little and says, "Well, it's nice to be appreciated."
oh. Speaking of, well, maybe not so appreciated, but busy and stuff. I was actually thinking of paying attention to. Enos, kind of cocks his head, thinking about this, says, "Your fairy godmother," for lack of a better word.
Oh, Aurelia, like raises a hand and is like, "Careful now. We don't like to use that phrase. It sounds very cliche."
Quite. And I was interested if you'd be interested in coming along. And so, like, I do believe our good lady in mourning has not had a chance to sample the fair sweets due to it being a right ruckus, and there was something I was curious about. She might be less likely to stab me through the chest if you're present, though. Maybe.
Oh, I don't think you need to worry about being stabbed anyway. She kind of, jokingly taps, Enos on the side of the shoulder, and she's just like, "You're mostly metal. I think she'd just try and, wring your scrawny little neck with her bare hands."
Oh, that seems like a much worse way to die.
It would be. It would be. She would. Enos, do you remember how when I talked about going into the Corbwood, she did a flip? It was wild. She kicked 2 guys upside down. I didn't even know that was a thing you could do. And yes, by the way, I described that in the fiction. She did like a forward handspring into a fucking upside down anime spin kick. Kicked 2 guys. She is crazy agile.
But yes, as you may well know, we have a visiting foreign dignitary, and I do believe that there is a bit of history between the two. And
Yeah, when you say foreign dignitary, she kind of says, not under her breath, but, softly so as not to interrupt your train of thought, "I didn't know that." And then you said the other thing, "I noticed that too."
And so, like, and unfortunately, I am a terribly nosy bitch.
Don't say that
You
part out loud.
are Stonehearth's biggest gossip. She kind of puts a hand on her chin and says, I'm fairly certain that's what the Marquess pays you for, though. He does pay you, right? He doesn't pay me.
You get paid?
You don't get paid. Well, actually, no. You're a justiciar now. You do probably get paid a salary.
Yeah. I think the only one who doesn't get paid right now is Konrad.
Yes, Konrad
Gets paid
technically is a
exposure.
landholding lord, so he's entitled to the profits of his land, which is unfortunately negative right now.
Yeah. Actually, with the Master of Ceremony, yeah, he would definitely get paid. Especially for this bullshit.
He should be drawing on a stipend.
I probably
He might
would,
get
but
paid.
Enos,
He might get paid in like events, like where it's like you get really hella paid now, but like if there's a season where you're not doing anything for like 6 months, they might not.
Talk about a Palak.
At the very least, it's a titled office. You should have some amount of discretionary funds to draw on.
Yeah.
There's probably a budget for events.
But with that thought, sorry, I hadn't thought. We keep sidetracking ourselves.
We do, unfortunately.
So yes, Inos asks Aurelia if she wants to go see Lady White with him as he delivers sweets and tries to get gossip, and delve upon her and the Fairy Queen's relationship.
Yes. Aurelia's down to join you for that. She
All
can.
right.
I mean, she can even offer to, if it's easier, just ask her to show up.
Nah. I guess I don't know if Lady White how keen she is about being in this place right now. Like I said, it's just a trip to Tharfield Manor's backyard.
It's not far away. That's like a couple hours tops. Aurelia would definitely mention that like she has noticed that like even before the Fairy Queen came to visit that like Lady White almost never like feels the need to be around her when both her and her mother are in the castle. She doesn't know if it's because she's safe inside the Citadel or that, she does not like this giant building of stone and iron we've built.
My assumption would be the first, but I don't know.
Aurelia confesses that, only slightly sheepishly that she never thought to ask.
Mm-hmm.
She's just so, cool and mysterious.
But Inos then says, and about me being a nosy bitch, gives Aurelia, a slightly even glance. It's like, don't think I didn't notice that look you were giving, lack of a look you were giving Logesh this morning at breakfast. Is there something happening there?
For a second, you've already rolled empathy, so I'll just, as we like to say, let it ride. Her expression goes a little flat for a second, and then it goes back to not angry, but Aurelia's more normal, annoyed younger sister look, and just like, well, he's just being, he's being a big brat. I'm not sure exactly what happened between him and Konrad at the gala, but they sorted it on the training field. Konrad did that thing he does where he just stands there and lets you hit him. And Logesh didn't really hold back, and also he was a little bit of a snot about it. And Konrad says it's normal. It didn't bother him. Or I should say, he wasn't insulted by it. So I'm just kind of, rubs her shoe on, the floor of your workshop, just normal cross.
Sorry, I'm thinking about how Inos feels about that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because on like one hand, sometimes you just got to slug it out, but if someone you care about
you've literally had the Konrad stands there and lets you hit him before. Like,
Yeah.
You've been on the other end of that, so like that's one of his moves.
Yeah. And this is how Konrad, deals with things. So again, if Konrad said it's fine, but I can tell that
Aurelia
this...
would assure Inos that she saw this because she was sparring with Nicola that night. So Nicola was like right there to patch him up. So
Oh, that's good.
he should be fine now. Aurelia I think Aurelia would kind of like, while you're thinking about it, kind of pause to herself and be like, Inos, what's your opinion of Ainara Espada?
Someone whose first love is swords, second love is fighting, and third is probably swords again.
She does use 2 of them, yes.
It's like, I'm afraid. Let's see here. Unfortunately, we have not had the chance to interact over much. We met during at the Dragon Festival, and she did have quite the imposing appearance. Well, commanding. I shouldn't say imposing. Commanding. Like I said, there was the duel she had with Logesh, where she quite literally ran him through the shoulder.
Oh, I know. I was there for that one.
And stuff. But I'm afraid I can't say that I've actually had a good time to sit down and get a good read of her. I had this awful feeling that if I tried to overmeddle too much, I'd probably upset Logesh even more than he already is with me.
Oh, you're concerned about that part. That's fair. You guys have had... She makes a gesture, as if gesturing to the invisible, unseen tension in the air between you and Logesh.
Yeah.
You've had that thing, all summer.
Yes.
Most of spring, too, honestly. But I was thinking more if you spent some time with her, she might object to you with a sword point. Because, well, I haven't had any more interactions with her than you have. That seems to be the Espada way. Their house is of the same rank as ours, but their way of doing things is very different. She kind of shoots you in a side glance and says, I don't want to say that the House of Logi is averse to a good fight. Nicola was saying something the other night about fighting as a love language. Kind of just shrugs her shoulders and is like, Nicola thinks he's been reading too much foreign poetry. Too much bad foreign poetry. But she kind of pauses and says, I think you're right to say that it's not that... Oh, that's not what's just... This is me being in character reticent.
I was just asking.
Aurelia's thinking about what she said. It's fine. You can leave it. I don't care. Give the people something to look at. Watch that loop. Watch that loop forever.
Speaky forever.
Keep watching it. But Aurelia, kind of chews her lip a little and says, I think you're right that it's the other way around for... At least for Ainara Espada, and maybe for the rest of them. For us, sometimes it's easier. Well, for the boys anyway, sometimes it's easier to sort out their feelings at sword point than, to just talk about them like normal people. But for the Espada, it's less about that being how they communicate and more the point of the communication. If that's not a pun.
I was about to do the.
They don't fight to talk. They talk to fight.
Okay.
At least, like I said, that's how I think Miss Ainara is, and probably how the younger sister seems. Lord Rodrigo is... She kind of pauses, again, gives Inos an aside glance and says, Inos, I hope you won't think it too egotistical of me if I say, I think Rodrigo has a temperament that's more similar to mine. He's fighting for something else. He fights to feel in control of himself because of reasons. I can only assume it has to do with the same reason why I often feel like just stabbing people would be a simpler way to go about things. But since he's the heir to his house, he actually gets away with it. Whereas poor Aurelia Logi has to hold her tongue.
Inos kind of blinks and is just like, Aurelia, who recently did you think would just be easier to stab, easier to stab and get it over with?
Logesh.
Well, I mean, she says, "Well, I'll be honest. If Konrad had felt actually bothered about it, I probably would have hit Logesh."
He has a history of getting stabbed, you know?
No, she doesn't say it that way. She's being pretty serious with Enos. Like I said, Enos is a mentor and a foster brother, so she's being pretty real with him. She's like, she admits that, like, again, reminder, her craving is, I think I phrased it most recently as blood in, blood out is her current version. Like, if she had felt that Logesh had actually injured Konrad in some way, hurt his pride, hurt his feelings, not just, hit him with a stick, she would have taken that personally.
Yeah.
Konrad says he didn't, so she did not. She's trying to get over it. But no, she's definitely, like, thought about some stuff, and she's just like, I'm trying to think, who would it be previous to that? I don't actually think. No, she wasn't there for Ainara's barbs at the gala. That was only between Konrad, Rena, Logesh, and Ainara. So I don't think anybody recently.
Oh, okay. She was just speaking in generalities. Then I was a little concerned.
She was just generalizing.
It's like, if Aurelia,
like I said, she admits the moment with Logesh, but no, I don't think she has any personal enemies right now.
I'm about to say, if Aurelia felt like she had some personal enemies, Enos might have to get on that. But no, we're okay then.
No, Aurelia's personal enemies are right now are very much the general enemies of the house. She doesn't know what their names are, otherwise she'd be doing that fucking Arya Stark thing where she says them to herself at night. But no, the conspiracy that killed her dad is a known house enemy, and she would absolutely stab the shit out of those people if she could reach them. And then I'm like, yeah, no, you guys have been mostly monster fighting all spring and summer, so I don't think she actually, like, nobody recently you've been fighting has got any licks that she hasn't had a chance to fight back on. Because you guys got the Cyclops when it, lasered Konrad's face. You guys got you guys traded blows correctly with the Sea Devils. Even if it was a little spooky, you guys didn't even get that much of a. I think because you had him chained down, the demon board didn't even get a good chance to do much damage to you guys that time.
Oh, we knocked him down once. We didn't really chain him down.
Right? Yeah. You tripped him. You brought him down, and that gave him some big penalties to actually, because I think he tried to, like, slam attack you or something.
I can't remember what it was.
But... I fucked it up. Didn't do good.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like I think sorry to stretch that out a little, but I did have to have a genuine thing. I think Aurelia's revenge list is currently caught up.
Okay, that's good.
Honestly, like, if you ask her about that, she's like, she kind of folds her arms and says, maybe a little archly, and like, I'll have you know, I've actually been making many friends this summer court.
Huh. I'm sorry, this is out of character, but my first thought was, any guy friends?
No,
The answer to that would actually be no, because she is not.
No.
It's all been with expanding her circle.
Okay, but Inos will, let that matter drop, and with a just kind of a shrug, and it's all like, oh, well, you know what they say, boys will be boys.
I've noticed. Even you've gotten your spats in. Like I said, I still don't know exactly what is going on between you and Logesh, other than that it involves the sword.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily fair for me to say exactly what it is, but I can say that I chewed him out. And he did not take kindly to being chewed out because he did not have a good response to being chewed out.
Well, of course, nobody who doesn't have a good response to being chewed out likes being chewed out. I suppose it would be, was it more practical or was it more personal?
Oh, actually, Loki, have to think about this for a second.
She'll extend her analogy a little while you're thinking and basically be like, is it like that thing that Conti does where he manages to make his hat be disappointed? Or was it more of, cutting Logesh to the quick?
Ah,
Like I presume Konrad did.
definitely more cutting to the quick.
Yes, I suspect that Logesh doesn't get a lot of challenges like that. Well, he's in the tournament too, so he has lots to prove.
Indeed.
Good thing you decided to step out.
Yes, I find that to be a smarter decision every day. Even though it's only been one day.
Oh, I'm sure
It
you'll
could've
find
been negative
something
one
else
day.
to throw yourself into.
Well, I do have several meetings to get through the week. If by any chance you hear a loud gunshot in the evening, please rush to the catacomb and make sure that Lady Marn hasn't blown a hole through my head, would you?
What?
Aurelia kind of gives you a level look, and she's just like she's considering that, and she kind of like, she has replaced her pepper box holster since she's changed since the tournament, and she just kind of like checks under her left armpit, just like, okay, that's a little bit of a big ask.
Inos shrugs. I was like, well, like I said, I'm trying to resolve some, well, unresolved history, as you would say.
That would probably be for the better. I found young Lady Ilarion quite a good conversationalist. She's very on the ball about things going on. I don't know if that's the anima talking or just, well, kind of, gestures between the two of you. Being a younger sibling.
Both.
But actually, I don't think we have anything else really to talk to Aurelia. I'll grab her when. Do people fight? Do people fight every day in the tournament?
They can, but I think if you're making enough points to succeed, which hey, Aurelia's doing great. She could she does not have a mastery die like these bozos. That's why she's still an apprentice. But she got 2 9s, so she might be ahead on her score. She could probably take a day off.
Yeah,
in the next couple of days.
Yeah, then in tomorrow then we're gonna pack up a picnic basket and we're gonna go right out to Tharfield Manor. But we can do that scene after you do the next tourney scene because I don't want to fucking.
All right,
fucking.
No, that's fair. Yeah. That one lingered on a little because we didn't intend it to be that way, but we ended up having to think about stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite part of character role. I'm mostly joking, but it is usually fun to actually figure stuff out. But also, there's definitely that moment of like, oh yeah, no, yeah. How would Aurelia respond to that? Since you rolled empathy, the implication there, what she said about it being a big ask was, you said for her to come get you is like, she's implying that she would have to probably fight Lady Marin.
I mean, she doesn't have to come
also,
alone.
I think she gets that you're being a little over dramatic.
As is my want.
True.
As is your need.
No, that's not his exact craving.
Yeah, no, fair. I should have guessed that.
That's. I mean, good try, but yes, no.
My craving is a secret, so the big secret.
I'm double checking. Double checking. I think it's been a few. I probably need to take a crack at Aurelia's, see if she's picked up any new spells. Actually, for sure she has, because it's what Wood That Walks she would have learned, and I don't have that down yet. I probably forgot to do that when we jumped to 2 Summer Court.
Do we want to take a brief
We probably should.
break?
Yeah, that scene went a little
Yeah.
long. We're at about 2 hours now. We should take our break ski. Let's take 5, everybody, and then get ready to go to tournament day 2.
Me too.
Day 2.
It's funny. I just came back from my own bio break.
That happens. All right. I'm going to step away for just a sec as well.
Hey, Lucky.
What's up?
Look in mobile. Fuck! Look in mobile games. Said.
All right, I have resumed as well.
Okay.
I'm poetic
Alright,
genius. Oh fuck.
We move to day 2. I would like the boys participating to roll dice. I'm fairly certain with your expert and master die, you're going to pass the difficulty 3, but I do want to see, like, are you passing it by the skin of your teeth, or is it always going to be like, yeah, no, 9 billion tens?
Well,
4
that's
fives.
4
No, 5
fives.
fives. 5 by 5?
I was about to say, yeah, should I just go 5-5 for the fun of it?
I mean, that means you probably win your matches a little messily, but very quickly.
Yeah, no, like, you speed through your sets today.
It'd be funny if it's like Logesh
Hey.
is just getting more efficient and being ruthless.
On the other hand, Konrad with 3 tens would be not as fast, but way more picture perfect.
Yeah.
You know what this means? Since I'm finishing my fights faster, I'm watching everyone else's.
Just 2 by 8.
8.
You try to call your shot there with the 10, huh?
I would have done 6 the other way, so it wouldn't have mattered.
I mean, you could have got 2 6s, but yeah, that wouldn't beat 2 8s. You're getting a little, you're. This is what I say. I want the rolls. You're gonna make your matches, but is it gonna be good enough? You're gonna get it through. Not quite skinny.
Well, I also do gobble. I do also gobble one of their or 2 of their dice with 3 1s on dodge, or just difficulty
Well,
also
like I said,
probably
you don't need
dodge.
No, but you don't need to roll defensively.
Yeah, this is just a flat check.
But okay, all right. So yeah, you guys score some matches. It's the second day, so you might actually have to fight some named characters here and there, but you guys do manage to score the points against them, and you're doing pretty good.
If given enough time, yes, Logesh will make sure to show up to Konrad's matches, Nicola's matches, and Aurelia's matches.
Aurelia ain't there.
I forget.
Yeah, Aurelia probably gets like 1 match in like really early in the day, and then
My
yes,
brain.
she'll depart.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's good to remind, but yes. So
The other matches that Konrad does catches are all in the Masters bracket because he is much more interested in watching Masters duel each other.
oh yeah, no, that's like hopefully not to come across as mean to the characters, but that's where the bulk of the audience is. Like some people are there to cheer for their faves. Like a decent number of you have enough of a following in town. Like there's usually a decent hometown crowd for any of you guys, and for Everhelm as well, sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely like the serious like fencing enthusiasts are watching the master matches.
Oh yeah,
because
of course.
yeah, things are. I mean, if nothing else, Moira Two Swords, has quite a reputation built up, and also has been ensconced as the fencing master. So like she's scoring some big wins. But there are members of the Blood Shields out here. There are members of the high houses out here scoring wins. So it's quite impressive.
Gotta watch that. My boy Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo also has some slick wins.
Slick
gotta watch, like-
wins.
I gotta see the Rua's one match, was the Konrad's matches, at least some ever held matches, if there are more than a few.
You do your best to split your time.
All right.
Sorry, I just thought to myself, I'm just like, that really is, I don't know if I would call it his fatal flaw, but that really is like Leslok's burden is not like, you're pretty good at taking care of yourself in a fight. Your character, I know, you talk about this with like, you struggle making Leslok sound as smart as you feel he should be, but you roll dice pretty good like you're smart. Leslok's real problem is just being in enough places to hang out with all the people he likes.
Needs to learn the multi-form technique.
Leslok actually does have very, very strong, like, social interpersonal bonds and has to, make some deep cutting decisions.
Actually, both of us can probably ride an Onyx. Onyx is a big fucking Cheval warhorse. He can handle,
I think he's getting pretty big, yeah.
Yeah.
I literally just looked at her stat block, but I did not double check. I don't think Aurelia has a lot of ride.
Yeah, I was about to think about that. It's like, I don't want to take a carriage, but I don't know about the ride. So yes, no, I will. That does remind me. I do need to like. Well, no, I gotta stop trying to awaken every little thing I own. I'm gonna wake up one day. I'm gonna like, I'm gonna awaken my fucking tea kettle, or some shit.
It just becomes. Oh fuck! What was it? Fantasia.
Just become the beast. Just become the.
No, it's
become
just
the
he's
beast
gonna wake
castle.
up one day and his cabinet's gonna say, "Daddy."
Oh, that's when I have to set a fucking cabinet on fire.
Mother.
Then
Well,
as it's burning, it just says, "Father, I thought you loved me," and I'm just be like, "Well, shit."
I
tried,
will
father.
say, we'll see when we get there, but I think Lucky as Inos will have some new ideas after you finish 12 months. You'll have some new wish lists. But yes, no, Aurelia has no points in ride.
Yeah, so she can
performance.
sit back behind Enos on Onyx. Enos is gonna pack up a picnic basket full of fair food and drink, and we're gonna head up to Tharfield Manor, in which we will go into the backyard, find Lady White's well, and ask if we may do a visit.
She will invite you inside. You guys can cross over into her fairy fort.
Woo!
Sorry, just the Articuno.
I tried, Father.
Shit, that reminds me. Eternal Montage posted the second episode of Nablu
Oh, really?
like last week, but I forgot to watch it, so I'll dig up the link here and post it for all of us later.
Oh, it was so good. The first
dig it
one.
up.
I'm excited. But to
Alright, but yes.
save on roleplay, because like I said, we do want to get through more of the tourney and stuff, and I do actually want to have a real roleplay scene with Lady Marin. We will summarize. So Inos is basically going to, just explain that, with the fair going on and all the things, plus, other individuals that she may or may not wish to avoid. Inos has thought to, bring her as a gift. Some of the foods, more flavorful fares. If I do recall correct, these fairies do have a bit of a sweet tooth.
Yes.
And stuff, so made sure to, yes. And using, food and bits as conversation as well as event, lead into a conversation where Enos, I was going to say tactfully, but Enos literally does not have graces. So
Dashingly.
No, I've already been thinking about a line Princess Estelle will probably have when you have that conversation she's got going on. Like I can tell you now because I'll say it again later, but it's just being like, she's gonna, mention that like, that Enos has broken every rule of etiquette that her charm school teachers taught her at some point, and somehow manages to still be charming. Because that is the way, the barbarian has no clothes works, where you're just like, Yes, I broke the rules of etiquette, but I did it in a cool way, so you don't mind.
I'm
It's like I should
fabulous
be
at it.
I should be offended, but he's just so hot.
That does describe Enos.
No,
You-
he's hot.
It's because it's because I rewatched all the commentaries recently, but I'm just thinking of the fucking line from the DBZA Broly. That's so dumb, but he's so cool. But he's so dumb.
If evil, why hot?
But yes,
Oh,
then
no,
we'll
true fact. Yes, but so you
we'll-
Enos your way through it, not with tact.
but with charm, a winsome smile, and a prayer to the god that he's not about to get throttled. But he's going to ask upon a bit of Lady White's history and maybe her relationship with the Fairy Queen, as he did note their exchange at the gala the previous night, and was hoping for maybe some more of her history.
She kind of gives Enos a level look, nibbles a cookie, and kind of says idly, "I shall accept these sweet repast as recompense for your prying." She says it with a little bit of sarcasm. She kind of pauses to think and says in a careful way, I mean, they're all about exchange. You did specifically phrase it as you were offering it as a gift, so she feels the need to repay you.
Yeah.
So she kind of thinks about it for a second and then says very carefully that currently my relationship with her sorry, it was me. I got a little rat in my throat. Hold on. Let me drink some water for a second. Air's very dry. Okay. Let me try that line again. She says, currently, my relationship to Her Majesty is, by design, nothing. I possess no names and no titles. None that I had organically, and none that I had... That's why she said Her Majesty, not the Fairy Queen. Lady White was careful about that one this time.
This is one of those situations
Not
where
that it would... It's funny that you decided to go to her well, basically to her cottage. The Fairy Queen would not be able to easily just knock down her door because she's taken precautions to, like, seal it.
Yeah, I know.
You guys are pretty sure that the Fairy Queen doesn't have the same reaction to iron that fairies do, but even so, the door closure is meant to be a sign.
You think like I said, I thought about this.
Yeah. But no, and she as she was saying, she's like, that I currently have no names nor titles, both which I may have possessed otherwise, and those which were granted by her. I am just myself. Nameless. She kind of pauses for a second and looks around her cabin and then looks at the two of you, sitting at her, hand-carved wooden table and just be like, solitary. I am me. She kind of pauses for a second and says, I believe I have had this lesson before, but I will reiterate. Her Majesty is our queen. She is the one who gave all of us, in the start, names and titles. So, the connection between fairies and their power flows from her to her. If one were to give up those gifts to return them, that relationship is severed is not quite the right word. But I admit sewing is not my forte. So I do not know what you would call it if you returned needle and thread from the loom to the seamstress. But that is probably the closest analogy I can say. My lady bears me no hostility and no ill will, and at the moment, I bear her none. I was slightly upset during the first couple centuries for her interference, but I have had time to cool. I mean, you both in and out of character. You've seen what Lady White gets like when she is mildly annoyed. She had a whole, red and tooth and claw speech to those guys you first met in the woods with her, like, and other stuff. So like, yeah, she can be really like a lot of fairies, like a lot of powerful fairies. She can be really in her feelings when she's in her feeling. That is, I think honestly she's probably described it that way before. Like that's fairy. The other side is nothing but a realm of emotion, right? So like fairies like really have their emotion. I think I haven't actually no, I may have talked about this, but I'm trying to remember. I will reiterate a previous piece of lore. I might have mentioned it in character through Lady White or through clear my throat. Aesilfur before. But fairies do not age normally, but they can still die. Part of what makes fairies susceptible to death is feeling like they want to die. Like that because they aren't going to die of natural causes normally, like they have to deal with, their emotions forever. So that is kind of like how fairies can become older when they feel older and can effectively, waste away and die of grief or other Tolkienian ephemera if they get too in their feelings. So, that's emotions are very important to the Fae. But Lady White would, continue along and basically reiterate the point that, there is no ill will between them. But currently, Lady White has no desire to reclaim any names, titles, and the responsibilities that coincide with them. She dares not assume what her queen would desire. If she would wish to return or grant titles and names anew. Is Inos thinking that in order to get to the... Yeah, I'm going to say, do you want to ask her about it?
Yeah.
That could be a very, very interesting conversation. Do you have anything else about this you would like to ask Lady White in specific?
Well, out of character, I will ask all of you. Do you think there's like any of you guys think there's any particular angle that I did not freaking, because I'm pretty sure that Lady White is not gonna tell me much, because there, as far as her as she feels, there's nothing to tell. She basically took all of her history and threw it in the trash.
Yeah, her I won't make you roll empathy. Her version of events is that she is not that person anymore because she doesn't have that name. She is a different person than she was when whatever her previous relationship went on.
Yeah, no,
If you want to ask, I guess I'll say this. I thought of something. If you want to ask her about like factuals, like I don't think she would necessarily deny like objective fact. If you want to ask her about, who she was back then or what she was doing, she might have some more straightforward answers. But vis-a-vis her relationship right now, she's just like, there is none. We're not there.
Yeah, then I guess Enos would phrase the question as all like, then yeah, the person you were before, drawing a distinct line between, that person and the person she is now. Like, Like, what did she do? I guess Inos would ask.
Behind her, mourning veil, Lady White smiles, one of her very sharp little smiles, and says, "Before, among many other roles, some of those I possessed, was as a she-knight. And I was once considered a captain of the Wild Hunt. So my previous position would be to say is that she kind of, idly, like, runs a sharply nailed, with her nail color glimmering, opalescent black, kind of just like. So I would say that my previous role was to make the enemies of my queen suffer and die. She kind of tilts her head and says, "Oh, did you think perhaps that I bore so many weapons in my home for show?"
Just so we. Oh wait, how would Enos put this? Because I have it in my mind. Sorry, like Lucky's having a brain fart. Basically, Enos wants to basically remark on the fact that there's people who can use a weapon, and then there's people who can use a weapon. And
I think at that she would kind of nod sagely in her way, which does cause her earring to bobble in tune, and say, "You have a very adept reading for one so young. I will caution you that among the Fae, those who choose to bear weapons use them. Those who have no need for them would not carry them, and those who cannot carry them would not. Or to put it another way, Her Majesty, or any of the she-lords, the A-she, would not choose a fairy to be a soldier if they did not have the capacity for it. And if you were to gain the title of a warrior, you would simply become a different person." She kind of nods her head to Aurelia. "Recall you those trolls you met in the Corbwood? They are still fairies, though they do not resemble myself. When they were granted names and titles for strength, they changed themselves. And some of them changed themselves more or less permanently. It can be difficult to switch back from a mind of war." I think she kind of gives Enos an aside and is like, "I believe you recovered some scraps of that old troll's weapon. Have you made them into something new yet?"
oh, it's like Enos will reach and like inside, like he's probably wearing like some sort of like
I mean, you were riding and traveling, so yeah, you've probably got like a coat or cloak on.
yeah,
or both.
Jack probably got like a coat on. Will just silently reach in and just bring out like the 4 metagrease knives and just gently lay them on the table.
She kind of nods solemnly and says, "This is good. I do not question it to know much about souls, but I know a lot about names. That blade, when it was one blade, did not have a known name, but it had a name." She speaks with the capital letter. Now it is something else. It is 4 things. Each of them has a little name, too. But I was going to remark that if you had asked the soul of that blade that once was, besides asking it to, she kind of turns to Aurelia and kind of, says with a little bit of a little bit of playfulness in her voice. Besides asking it to break itself and die, I think Aurelia just kind of like sips her tea, just like, who, me? She kind of says, well, if you asked its soul something, it would probably have been very old and very angry and tired. I think she kind of leaves a gap for Inos to respond, but she will look up at her own mantelpiece where her own large, leaf-bladed longsword made of it's still, the material's still called green glass, but I've described it before. It's scarlet colored.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just sitting up on her mantelpiece, and she will kind of stare at it wistfully for a second. Actually, no, you guys are in her cottage. You would see that I don't know if I described the bed before, but she's got probably like a bench or a cot or something to lay down on. Fairies don't sleep the same way that people do when they're in fairy. They sleep when they feel tired, but probably in a much less formal place. She has the greatsword of Raynolf that you brought back.
Yeah.
Kind of like wrapped in a simple, white cloth, kind of leaning next to the bed. It's not on display, but it is handy.
Mm-hmm.
But if Inos didn't have a direct comment, she would probably, after that moment of ennui, just be like, I suppose if you asked my sword, it would probably be drowsy. I have not been using them over much.
I think at this point, Enos will, consider his curiosity, well, I want to say satiated, but doesn't necessarily see anywhere to go with this conversation. So we'll just finish the meal amicably. Fuck, I know the word. Can I say it? Amicably?
Amicably, yeah.
Amicably.
You were in the right zone.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could say amicably. That's not quite the right inflection, but...
Yeah. And
a question before I think we jump to our next section, which will probably be Enos at the Marin then, if nobody else has anything else this day. I know you don't always like to go back to back, but we'd be moving to the next day. As a separate thing, have I exposited to the crew about what the Wild Hunt do be before?
no.
I think not in detail.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
It would probably come up either in this conversation or come up could come up in a follow-up conversation. So, the Wild Hunt are like the Fairy Queen's personal guard, but they're not there to guard her person because her person does not need to be guarded. If the nation of Forest Fae fights an enemy that could, ruffle their queen's skirts, they're in trouble. The Wild Hunt exists, among other things, to defend her honor. To do things that, are personal, not about, normal fairy business.
So if the Wild Hunt's
And
after
sometimes,
you've done fucked up. You really
Yes.
done fucked
No,
up.
if the Wild Hunt is actually after you, that probably means it is a personal grudge she is sending them on. And obviously it also means that they can just, ride out into the wild night because that's what the Hunter Queen feels like she needs to do right now. But yes, so by saying that not only was she ranked as a fairy knight, a she knight, probably with a title similar to the ones you guys have heard of, fraternity, friendship, love, peace, etc. Notice how all of them are good qualities. You guys have not yet run into a fairy who's supposed to be the knight of something bad.
Where's the Knight of Executions and the Knight of Wrath? Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys would like meeting a fairy that the queen specifically gave a title of wrath to. But yes, Lady White was presumably had such a title herself, but
excuse me.
also she said she was a captain in the Wild Hunt, so
Like full
she
on, like,
was part of the queen's personal entourage.
That's pretty up there.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I don't actually. It's not on their title, so I don't think you've actually run into anybody who's copped to being in the Wild Hunt before.
I'm the commander of the Wild Hunt, which is the queen herself. So
Yes, that is one of her titles. She did introduce herself that way. But all right, you withdraw.
Yes.
On day 2, while you guys were had some chance to ponder, did anybody ponder any sequences they want to be doing? I think we're keeping up with everybody's schedule though, so we don't have to ponder over long.
yeah,
Yep,
the only
I don't have anything planned until the end of the week.
The only thing I'd be waiting for is see if I get a reply from a message.
Yes, I will say, as of right now, no, Paloma has not responded.
Okay.
She's still racking up the score in her division, so it may be just a thing of buying a little space.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. Well then, Inos, you want to do the thing tonight?
Yeah. Might as well not. Might as well. I don't see any reason why not to.
Okay.
So, that evening, Inos is going to send a personal message to Lady Maring that there is some private business that needs to be handled up here at Stonehearth, but due to the delicate nature of it, details are being omitted. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think on exact phrasing. So if she could please come, around this time, it would be greatly appreciated and whatnot.
Come to Hurston Citadel? Any more specific instructions than that? Basically, are you going to put the thing about the catacombs in the note, or is that going to come?
That's going to come later. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Yes, then I think she will respond to the note. If you were going to go for the catacombs thing right away, and this may be a buff for later, I would probably have had ruled fascinate, but for personal persuasion. But if you're just sending a note, yes, she will. You are the master of ceremonies, and stuff going on. You didn't not say that it wasn't official business.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, she will roll up at the appointed time.
Yes.
Would she? No, Lady Marin doesn't feel the need to bring anybody directly.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Enos will be, we waiting for her with, lantern head. He's gonna be dressed in his regalia of Dea Tacita, though, by the way.
Mm-hmm. This probably gets a quirked eyebrow, but not anything too serious. Would she? You phrased actually, this is a very great question because we were just talking about, titles and faces and positions. Is this a note to the Lady Admiral or to Baroness Marin?
Baroness Marin.
Okay. She will appear appropriately, so she is not wearing, her crisp naval bone whites. It's, more of the normal colors of Marin. So she's still wearing like a cut of like jacket and trousers that looks like a naval uniform, but it is not actually her uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she kind of like appears and not a little impatiently, kind of like probably like arches an eyebrow, considering you and notes your seriousness, but eventually kind of like goes for like a folded arms and just is like, very well, state your business.
It's oh god, this probably is going to require a bit of persuasion, but Inos will be gonna yes, very good. Oh yeah, if you would follow me, please, we will walk and talk. And Inos will start making his way to the catacombs.
I will simplify this bit and just have you roll fascinate now, because I think she'd be okay with just a walk and talk, but it would definitely be like a pointed question of like, okay, but do we gotta go to the catacombs? And then you're just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically it could be plead, but I don't think you're gonna be, begging on your hands and knees. You're just gonna be persuasive.
Persuasive and a little mysterious.
Oh, you love to be mysterious.
I think I got a lot of pairs in there, but
4s at least. 8s. I think
9s
it's
is
your
the highest
natural
but
pair.
nice.
Oh, no, you got 9s. Okay, there's the second 9.
Yeah.
The one problem that does not get better with personal dice, with physical dice, having rolled for one roll engine before, back in the Skype days pre Dicebot, picking out the matches. So yeah, no, 2 9s. All right.
Yeah.
You are dressed in your regalia head to toe, so you are not showing your. But all right, okay. She like begrudgingly goes along with it.
Yes. So Inos is going to, leading with the lantern, go descend into the catacombs, and it's going to a particular what are the sections in tombs called where they lay them? Is that, did they have a term for that? Well, I wouldn't call it a grave, but
it's not actually a grave, but it would be the appropriate like marker,
crenellation, something. He's heading towards a particular
the appropriate alcove.
Yeah, I think it's alcove actually. And but along the way, he's gonna start making a little bit of small talk, partly to distract Lady Marin from us walking in the dark into the catacomb. But he's going to ask if she has by chance heard of what Conti was doing with the publicizing. I had to think of the word of Leah Frick's Adventures, Volume 2, out now.
Yeah, turn to camera. Tell him available now at a newspaper near you.
It's free real estate.
At first, she when you're making some of your talk, she seems to kind of resist, but you did roll fascinate, so like you are generally charming and persuasive on an interpersonal level. So she kind of opens up a little, and then when you do bring up the journals, and she is kind of like, I'm aware, I have read.
Oh. feigns a little bit of, well, not really feigns, but is a little surprised at that. It's like, how did it feel reading about your own event, your own, Why am I feeling
adventures. You can say adventures. You started.
Yeah, your own adventures and such a thing.
It's hard because you're tense. I'm not tense because, well, it's Lady Marin.
Yeah.
No, actually, she would be. Oh, no, tension is not the right way to describe her response to that, but she does kind of like, gesture with the hand and kind of blow it off, and is just like, "Ugh. My part wasn't really that adventurous or glamorous."
No? Enos goes, it's like I said, the way I understand it is when Leo Fragmelia needed, someone to bear him away on whatever. I don't want to say foolhardy, but some of them was definitely foolhardy. Foolhardy adventure to rescue someone or put evil in its place. You were the first one he would turn to. In fact, and I'm pretty sure that some of those times you weren't supposed to, but you did anyway. I think that's rather important and adventurous. At least in my experience.
She kind of, she's her face is trying to work through a couple different things as you say that. She's trying to hold it up.
Mm-hmm.
But she ultimately, because you did have, your one more thing in there, she kind of settles on, blowing out a little bit of a sigh and just says, "Well, that's too right. But we all do things we're not supposed to. Like, I'm fairly certain, as, you pass by a couple of catacomb sconces. Before, making too much of that, she continues. She, kind of like fixes her one good eye on Enos's back and kind of says, "Well, we're..." Yeah, she would say it as we. Sorry, it was me thinking about grammar there. She's saying, "We're the house of the free winds. Go where they blow. Sometimes you help out an old friend. Sometimes the wind takes you where duty calls. It's the way of the world."
The choices between duty and friends are hard, are they not? I can't really speak to the experience myself, but I can't imagine it's been easy.
Again, this kind of like she like I think like goes through a couple different phases before ultimately settling on kind of like a more. It is a little like a little arched, a little dry, but she does kind of say, "Well, if you want to ask about that, you should ask his lordship, the new Marquess." So Lady Marin's losing a little bit of her Somerset. She's supposed to sound a little more piratey.
Can't say pirate.
Mostly because I could, with the name Marin and the way the Islas are, the accent should probably be French, and I will probably have some islanders sound more French, but I do not think I can do a hard-assed admiral lady and maintain my terrible French accent the whole time. So I
You
try
just
to
go
make her sound
Barbosa. You just go a bit Barbosa at some point.
a little more. Aye. You best start believing in ghost stories. I'm in one.
Nods and says, "Oh yes. But the good Marquess is young and has not necessarily had the years to make many difficult decisions. Not to mention that I somewhat believe he doesn't make difficult decisions and just picks the option that he likes the best. Unfortunately, Enos, says this a bit, says that a bit dryly. At least it seems that's how it's been going."
I think she kind of like tugs at her gloves a little. The first thing you said, you're master of not the compliment sandwich, but the 1-2 punch of like the first thing you said. She like was probably gonna say something again, a little embittered. But when you roll it around, she just kind of like again blows out a deep sigh and just says, "Well, ain't that just the Logi way?"
Yes. But, sorry, 1 second.
Yarb.
Yarb. Yup, Commander. Let's see here. Do I want...
Burger?
But,
Heretic burger.
Inos will be quiet for a little bit until we get, fairly, close to the location, and just be like, yes, we're almost there. Sorry for being so damn mysterious, but it's kind of a occupational hazard. But soon we'll be on. You'll know what this is all about. But and Inos goes on. Oh God, I'm having the same problem that Omega does. I know how I want this to start, and I know how I want this to end, but getting all the middle bits connected's hard.
Hey, well, that
Figuring
happens.
out the exact, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Words.
Yeah,
Words.
the words. It's like, no, I think I know. That's all like your relationship with Logi was not simple. I think we can say.
I think the moment, by the way, the moment you start that is like kind of bristles a little, just like she senses something coming. I don't think she senses exactly where it's gonna go, but
It's like, Enos, keeps going and says, frankly, I don't know all what went on between you. I really don't. I've talked to several people. More, lady, Mother. Sorry, it's like Mother Mercedes, Conti. And it seems that like everyone's life was not, well, was not, as simple as some people would like to believe.
I think she says with a small amount of bitterness, but very serious. I think she does just kind of say that, like, the only way you can know about what two people's relationship is if you ask. She would say it this way: say you ask both of them.
Unfortunate. Well, Enos could ask, but he's not.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's like,
I thought about giving you a softball about that, but I'm like, nah, we'll keep it.
no. This ain't a call upon the dead situation. Like,
No, we're here for the living.
no, exactly. It's like, it's true, but unfortunately, no. Enos says it specifically, we won't do that. He won't say he can't do that. It's, but even if only one side can be present, there's still some things that must be done. At this point, Enos, raises his lanterns and the light shines upon, the alcove in which Logi is laid to rest. 3 years ago, when your friend was murdered, we at the house were quite panicked. We left as quickly as we can, tried to shuffle the young heir home as quickly as can, and we weren't able to hold a proper funeral. A lot of people have misunderstandings about funerals, you see. Yes, it's about laying the dead to rest and making sure everything is right and proper. But funerals are just as often for the living as they are for the dead. A chance to say goodbye, a chance to say one last thing, a chance to if not find closure, then to at least find themselves to move on. Many people have been here. Many friends have said goodbye. Lady Mon, you have not had a chance to say goodbye, now have you?
She kind of been standing there quietly with her arms folded. And she kind of pauses like long. She is, kind of like, I believe we said it before, but the typical style of Norlon, along with lots of other places, is cremation. So it is probably not like a full, sarcophagus, but I assume, would have some kind of image there, if not a full statue, some marker. So she kind of like looks up at it. I'm just imagining. I can't remember actually if I said which side her eye patch is on, but just for the sake of the image, she's placed so the eye patch side is on Enos's side. Just because it's cooler that way.
Yes.
It's more dramatic.
But Enos...
So she pauses for a long beat when you say that.
Enos
not
is
really
gonna...
like... Yeah, not saying anything, not really moving, just kind of like looking up and kind of like a quiet thought for a second.
Enos will continue. He's going to set the lantern down. It's like, Lady Mon, I will repeat. I don't know what went on between you two. I don't know what feelings you had for each other and what were or not. But it's like, oh God. But some things should not be hidden. You should not bear that burden silently. I will be going. Enos will be, point down the corridor far enough that I will not be able to hear anything of what is said or what is done here. So please, Lady Morin, if you wish to cry, cry. Scream, scream. Confess all that is in your heart that you wish you can say, you could have said to him. Say it now. No one will hear it but him. And with that, Inos is going to, quietly, turn on a heel and move the appropriate distance away so that he cannot hear or see anything that she does.
All right.
And just wait for her to, come back.
Probably. I'm trying to think of the old, what would you say, the like more than you'd think, less than you'd hope type thing. It's not like that way, but less time than you might assume, but more than you fear.
Yes, there we go. It's not that, Lady Marin said, "Oh, I saw this," and just said a few choice things and left. No, she probably was more brusque and blunt with getting things off her chest, but she did say stuff.
Yes,
I get it.
Something does occur, but not maybe enough time for like a full emotive breakdown.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mood is a little disturbed because apparently the cats are fucking cold, so we've come inside the room to bother me. Go back out there? Hold on a second. That was me opening the door to let him back out. Okay. We got bored that I wasn't giving my full attention. Talking to this weird black metal thing. Okay. But yes, so after a decent amount of time goes by, she comes back. In one hand is the lantern, in the other is a hip flask. She will silently offer you the hip flask.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of, if you will take it.
Enos will take it.
It's got rum in it.
Yeah. A little stronger.
And she says, a little hoarse, but not like choked up. Like you stepped out of the way so you couldn't hear anything.
No.
But I'm imagining you can interpret that she did not quite go for wailing and yelling.
Mhm. Honestly,
But
she might have
says,
she might have been angry too. So
yeah. But she kind of says, in the Ethos, when you want to remember who's gone, you have a drink. Because that's what they would want.
Mhm.
She kind of, waits for you to pass you the flask back. She'll pass you the lantern next.
Yep.
Since it was yours originally.
Yeah, we'll
and
trade.
just be like, yeah, tradesies. And she just kind of, puts her hands on her hips and kind of like, big deep breath, and then, yeah. I'll phrase it this way, as I like to have been. She does not switch back to Lady Admiral, but she does go back from in that brief moment you got to see Coraline Marin, the person. She kind of like adjusts herself back, and she is back to being Baroness Marin, steward of the winds, sort of thing.
The second stage in her evolution.
Yes. And
No,
she
no, no.
kind of-
It's probably the third stage.
No. See, first stage is Caroline Morin. Second is Lady Morin. Third is Admiral Morin.
Yes, the lady
It just-
admiral.
Okay,
of,
yes.
admiral of the
No, no, no.
I just
agree.
imagine.
the King's Navy.
I just imagine all of like the prequel stories or all of like the flashbacks. It just has like the biggest thing is like Lady Marin's hair is like untied and like she does not wear the hat.
No, she
Actually, no, I
definitely
think she's
has
always had her a ponytail.
Hmm.
It's just that you're right that like the hat changes. The hat is how you can tell, and then it's post the time skip. She's punished because she has the eye patch. That did
Punish
happen.
Yeah.
To remind everybody, that did
Punish
happen
Marin.
in the time skip. But instead of Venom Snake's red filter, she has a blue filter or a blue-green filter. But yeah, she kind of like settles back to being herself, and she kind of says,
I never know she had
"It's
eye
funny.
patch
You
on.
started this by saying, by wondering how you can know how people feel, and then you didn't ask." She kind of nods sagely. Smart of you. Smart of you.
Hmm.
But, well, she kind of rolls her shoulder and says, "You were right. I suppose I didn't get to say goodbye in my own way." She kind of pauses for a second, tilts her head, and says, "You and yours being underground, being close with what would be the Marin way of Jaya Tacita? I think it would yeah, she would say it as she who rules over the dead. It's probably pretty easy to say goodbye whenever. On the sea, you don't always have a lot of time." She kind of gives you a sharp smile. It doesn't quite reach her eyes, but she's trying. She's like, "I would say you should see a House Marin funeral, but you wouldn't have a good time. We bury our dead at sea because there's not enough land to hold them in."
Mhm.
Kind of, switches back to kind of looking in the middle distance and just says quietly, "Just like with my mother, the previous lady, put them in a casket, you wrap them in the flag, and we send them back to the sea. Not because that's where we come from, but, well, it's the biggest, most peaceful place we can think of." She kind of looks around and says, and, touches the catacomb walls. This might be a good second, though. I'll think about that. And I think she kind of coughs and is like, all right, you've done your nosy meddling. Don't think I haven't heard how much of a meddler you are.
Medliest
She does
meddler.
not phrase it as how much of a nosy bitch you are. I don't think the Girl Squad Grapevine would go that far. I don't think Aurelia would repeat that to anybody.
Inos is just, smiling softly, and and it's like, how would he say this? Shoot. It's like, I maintain that I do not know how everyone feels in this, but I do know Leofric Logi, and that he would not want someone he consider a friend. Oh God, how would I say this? Not to be. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Oh, Leofric Logi would not want would not want anyone to be burdened with his death.
This does get kind of it's sad, but it is a more genuine smile on her face, and she says, "No, he wouldn't, bloody big idiot. That was his way."
It's like, but with that, our business is concluded. I will, I will. Oh, if you will permit me, I will escort you to the gates.
She kind of nods. I think she would say, just she kind of like after nodding, she kind of takes a second and then says, "Well, if you're keeping score, Leofric Logi was not my oldest friend, nor was he my best friend, but he was one of my dearest friends once upon a time. And even when I couldn't say whether or not we were friends anymore, and I have to admit, that was my fault." She kind of like pauses for a second and again, working through some emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to show, Inos, who to her is kind of a kid. You're what, 19?
That's still a kid.
Yeah. I mean, she's twice your age?
Yeah.
How old are you, Lady Marin? Yeah, she's 39. She's almost 40. So yeah, she's basically double your age. She kind of like, holds it together and says, even apart from that, I always thought he was a shining example of what we should be. And I'm not talking about, lords and ladies. He was a good example of a good person. And then I think her voice gets a little hard, and I think, Inos, you kind of like can hear, in the back of her speech, a sound like, slow grinding waves, and she says, and someone done fucked that up for him. The sea may be calm and it may rage, but the waves never forget.
Inos won't say anything to that, but just, bow in acknowledgement to it.
Mm-hmm. And she said, she'll walk along. She'll kind of go back to her normal mode, but I think she will crack some more. She's got some cracks now. She'll definitely, as you're walking back, be like, as an aside glance. Well, also metaphorically, because I love imagery, I'll say that this time she walks so that Inos is on her good eye side.
Oh.
so you can see that side of her face. She doesn't walk the other way, so you can't. But she would, as an aside, she'll say, "I don't suppose your meddling could do something about that damn fool doctor."
I apologize for him.
Hey, hey, hey!
Somewhere Nicola sneezes.
Fuck you!
No, it's very Inos to say. She's just like, I don't think he needs apologizing. He just needs someone to saw out his larboard from his starboard. Maybe his fronts from his backs, too.
Nicola is awkward, but his heart is in the good place, which makes it twice as hard to actually damn him what he's doing. Also, I'm not... Enos, somewhat throws up his hands like, and frankly, I'm not one to necessarily, cast stones upon him.
Enos, take this how you will. In response to that, she says, "It's a terrible shame you lot get seasick. You'd make a great Marin."
Enos will laugh lightly at that. It's like, but I will see if I can maybe get his head to screw on a little bit tighter. Remind him that even if he doesn't like them, there is certain procedures and protocols to be following.
I'm quite certain he's following some of them. It's just... She kind of pauses and, she kind of like stops in her half step to consider you for a second, and then, catches up and she's like, "No, you would know. You had a little run-in with Sir Drake once upon a time, didn't you?"
Yes.
Well, a run-in with... No, actually, yeah, she says Moira straight up, no like honorifics or titles, like not Two Swords Moira or anything, but also not, Miss Degen. She's just like, well, Moira put his squared where his head should be on the right direction. If yeah, actually, she will in this moment say Nicola. She called him doctor before, and I think that's a running through line, by the way, to let Nicola know how that's been going. She almost always makes sure to call you just doctor or maybe sir doctor. If she's annoyed, she gets more formal the more pissed off she is.
No, that's fair.
It's probably a horseshoe. The
Nicola...
calling Moira by her name with no honorific is both very personal, but also probably a little rude.
I'm pretty sure Moira has some choice names for Lady Marin.
Nicola has just been taking it as a compliment because
of course he has.
That's the only title he emphasizes whenever he talks to anyone.
It's perfect. You're talking past each other, but yeah, she does actually take
yes,
name
100%.
And she's
like, oh, that means she likes me.
Well, if he didn't have good intentions, I'm going to be quite honest with you, I would have shot him already.
Inos does not mention that that's what he thought was going to happen to him tonight.
Well, if you had bad intentions, I would have shot you already. It would have been harder, though. I don't have a bay to throw you in.
There are no coastlines. We're in the middle of the fucking continent.
Yeah, do you remember when I had my first meeting with her? We were like next to the dock at the
not the
Royal
area.
Also later when you had your awkward conversation inside her guest manor in the capital, but I'm like, she is straight up saying that like if Nicola had offended her honor personally, she would have just shot you and thrown you in the bay.
Done with it.
But yeah, she does, she kind of mutters something about, not having any keel to haul anybody on. Having a bloody great islands and no god's damned coasts anywhere.
Find a lake.
But Inos will have a conversation with Nicola about maybe not being so Nicola.
Or at least like letting Nicola know like the how would I say this? To stick to stick to the rules a little more and maybe be a little more sensical about it and a little less melodramatic. Like, Lady Marin's not going to let Inos in on like her all her most intimate secrets, but I think with your levels of empathy, you could pick up on that. Like, obviously, again, I'll say notoriously, possibly infamously unwed mother of 3. Like, the Baroness is no slouch in matters of complicated romance, which is probably why she doesn't, as we say, throw stones at Inos either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she makes no value judgments about whatever Inos has going on. It's just that she realized that because, you did have that altercation with Drake, that you probably do know that, courting multiple people openly is considered weird, if not insulting, possibly.
Yeah.
The Baroness does not seem to by Nicola's attempts. It's more that she's just like
He's making it
You're gonna
weird.
do this,
confused,
do it
perplexed,
right.
and annoyed.
Yes.
Yes. If not for her sake, I'll let just roll me a little empathy. Roll me a little empathy now. I won't have her roll her lie pool, even though it's pretty all right.
I mean, she is a politician. I would expect so.
Dice don't fail me now. 3 threes.
She's also a
3
pirate.
threes.
Well, I mean,
She's not
she's
a
a
pirate.
scary lady. She's intimidate 5.
Oh.
She could be a pirate if she felt like it, but she's not normally. No, I've tabbed back over, and there we go. Took Discord a second to work through that. But yes, okay, you've got some 3s. Yeah. Okay. Inos, I think you've asked a lot about her. You're trying to get a sense for her. Obviously, Inos, you can add 2 and 2 together about the nature of romance and get that, like, obviously the Baroness is not too personally cut up about the complexities of romance, but more so that she would prefer if Nicola was more openly conventional in his courtship and maybe a little more appealing as a suitor, because she is concerned for how her children come across.
Okay. I thought that's what you were going for.
Like,
It's like it wasn't,
yes.
for a personal
And
thing.
that's
It was
why
more
I'm
about
I
outward,
thought about giving you that
outward
for free, but I'm
appearances.
like,
Okay.
no, you should roll. Yes, she's more concerned about outward. If
Okay.
Please, for the love
You will
of
not
God,
say this
tell
in so many
Nicola
words,
this.
but
Because
I
she
will.
will
Subtext
never
this.
figure this out.
Oh.
Well, that's why Enos can try and explain
She
it
will
to you.
literally never figure this out.
Yeah. But like, she would not say that in so much, but you can get a read on the subtext here. Baroness Marin does not care if one or both of the twins were to carry on a romantic affair with Nicola. But since Nicola has gone out of his way to, send them gifts, be seen with them in public, make an announcement of his intentions to her, that means that he may announce his intentions to other people, and she is concerned with, their business in the long run. If you're making casual conversation, she might mention, again, something that Lady Corb brought up to you, that, like, it's not necessarily that either of the twins are guaranteed to inherit her position. That will be voted on by the Captain's Congress, because that's, again, kind of how they do things, is they get all their boat captains together and they pick. I don't know if it would come out now, but I can say it because it's not supposed to be a secret. It could come out if it came out in the conversations. Oh, okay, there it is. Sorry, Discord went non-responsive for a second, but we're good. But if Enos had, decided to ask her about the relationship a little more, it might come out that, like, part of the reason why her relationship with Leofric was fraught was it was because they both basically came into their positions roughly at the same time.
Oh yeah, no, I remember
Her
this.
a little before.
Yeah.
It was a little trying and a little embittered on her side because she actually had a tough time being picked. She had stiff competition from, like, a distant cousin, because at that time she would have been unmarried, but quite far along in her pregnancy with the twins. So there was a great deal of politicking and backroom dealing that was involved, and unfortunately, literally at the same time, we've mentioned this before, the twins are mere months older than Leslok is. So, like, at the time, Leofric was dealing with, my brother has been killed by Monstrum, and now I need to fucking, solidify my position and, speed run 2 political marriages for different reasons.
Yep.
Like, so, they basically neither of them was in a good position to be there for the other.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'll say it. Unfortunately for Lady Marin, she took that a lot more personally than Leofric did because, well, he's your big dad, and he would have taken it in stride. That's why he's dead now. He was literally too good for this earth. I'm not afraid to set up the cliches. He was quite literally too good a person for this fucking plot to work, so he had to go. That's unfortunately the way of many mentor characters who are also anime dads. But yeah, so like
I would disagree, but
she's
that's
not
my
concerned
character.
necessarily with that. Like either of them could be in a relationship with Nicola. If Nicola's not a good suitor, that's going to hurt their chances in the Congress later, hurt their position in life, and she doesn't want that for her kids because she's had to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm definitely gonna have to pencil in the conversation with Nicola later. Enos will.
Yes, I know. Dallas has done a very good job of correctly calling out of character that Nicola is not going to get any of that shit.
Yeah.
Because, so Nicola's position was he's doing the way the things are doing to try and make it easier on them, but because he's him, he's doing a bad job.
Mhm.
Huh.
There's levels of nuance. And I think at the end she would also probably, Lady Marin would probably, at least, again, probably not extended about it, but she would probably make an aside about, like, how was she phrased? No, I think she would pay Inos a little bit of a genuine compliment. Not about your thing, because that's the kind of thing that she's, not going to talk about anybody with her priest. But she will pay Inos a separate, seemingly unrelated compliment about, how he seems to have a way mentoring. Yeah, she'd phrase it as young people because, obviously that despite her own difficulties with your house, and certainly Inos will recall from the prologue that until several of you, mostly Nicola, but honestly even the rest of the crew, went out of their way to kind of like be, if not patch things up with the Marin twins, but at least be deliberately neutral to them, like not rise to their kind of like, insults and jibes kind of a thing. That baggage basically completely skipped Ilarion, and she seems like she is becoming genuine friends with Aurelio.
Good.
And some of that she attributes to Enos's influence, because it was. Some. And then she's probably just going to be like, you go back to like the foyer or whatever, and she's like, all right, cool, good talk. Productive meeting. I'm going now.
But pets all around.
And Enos will, see her off and let that be. I don't think I'm gonna go bother Nicola tonight, though. It is probably getting on later in the evening, and that means I would probably have to go down to his mansion, so that'd probably be slightly awkward.
Yeah, just the old, oh, I'm going this way too.
I must do it later. I'll just do it after his matches or something.
Oh, you can catch him out, yeah. Anyway.
All right. Woo!
Tourney.
Yes, let's go ahead and...
Didn't get shot.
I didn't get shot.
No.
So,
Good job, man. Well, you did a very good job,
Secondary-
like I said, walking away.
secondary objective complete.
Yeah.
The little bonus objective check mark gets ticked off.
Yeah.
Leave unscathed.
Guys, no, seriously, I was seriously concerned that she would have felt like I'm trying to be too fucking personal and shoot me.
I don't think she was going to shoot you.
I feel like
think she might have like stormed. I thought she might have like stormed off in rage, but I didn't think she was going to shoot you.
And at worst, maybe she'd probably shoot you in the foot.
I mean, Inos was braced for it. I also kind of thought that she probably wouldn't have actually shot you because, for similar reasons to Nicola, that like you are being genuine.
She
It
also
is
said she
possible,
didn't have any
like we
place for the
said, that like
bodies,
you
so.
could have phrased that as like she stormed off, or the thing with the fascinate roll was like she genuinely might have like chosen not to engage, I guess is the way to phrase it. Like she would have just tried to, again, taught it's the thing you talked about with like, positions and stuff, it can be tough to be there for your friends. Like you said, the levels of mask. She's used to being not just the Baroness Marin, but also the Lady Admiral. So like a lot of stuff she just has to kind of like, square up, put on the hat and push away. It's like Captain Grimm, after the fight's over is when she gets to be like, oh shit, oh fuck. But when you're in a boat fight, you have to be like, yes, I am the captain. I'm in charge here. Wooden ships and iron men and all that. What? All right. Anyway, actually, let me. Oh, sorry about that. Got a hair in my mouth all of a sudden. Where are we at? Like 3-ish hours? Let's take another break ski and then probably roll our next day.
Yeah.
And depending on how much time people have, we might pack it in there or not. We'll see.
It's 30
I'm good
minutes.
to go.
What was that, Dallas? You broke up a little there for me.
I said I have about 30 minutes. Or 40 minutes.
Maybe we don't do the break, actually.
Whatever y'all want.
I mean, we're mostly rolling dice. How do people feel? Do we want to take a break?
I'm okay to keep going. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing much. It's mostly going to be tournament stuff
I
now.
feel
That's fair.
I'm just gonna step away for 1 second then.
Yeah. Give me a second to, because Discord did get laggy,
Get
give
some
me a
water.
second to stop my recording and let it catch up. Not a full break, but give me a technical break. That'll take it probably a couple of minutes to catch up there. But okay, all right, good job. Didn't even need half those skills that I gave Lady Marin. I could have rolled lie. I won't say the exact value, but I will say Lady Marin does have a pretty good pool in her sense plus empathy herself, which I think is what lends itself to her ability to tell when people are being malicious to her versus, being coming from a good place, a well-meaning place, regardless of whether or not they're pulling it off well.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was pulling it off well at all. I'm just like, make it work.
I think it was pretty good. You had the right level of seriousness.
Yeah.
Definitely me. I felt the moment as the other side of that.
Yay.
All right, I'm back.
Also, by the way, for everybody keeping track at home, Lady Marin has the second level of beauty.
Oh, she does? Rad.
Yes. She is still quite physically striking, despite the eye patch.
That just adds to it.
I mean, I was going to say, that is aesthetic.
She does take the
Like,
one-eyed problem.
I'm not going to say my first anime, like, this probably tells you what I was watching at too early of an age. I'm not going to say my first anime crush was Bella Lycra from Black Lagoon, but it wasn't not.
I mean, for real, I have a friend of mine who's like
We know what's up.
still feeling that.
Also, Integra Helsing, like, look.
I have a friend of mine who's also still that too.
Look.
All right, okay.
All right.
I've
Please tell me
reset
that
my
wasn't recorded.
though. We're good.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, we just resetting there. We're good. Okay, let's continue. Day 3, which is technically because we started on the Souls Day, so it's like I'm in my Dramatis tab. You can't find the calendar there, fool.
You fool.
That's a different tab of your document entirely. But calendar. So this will be the rolls for the Oaken Day.
Indeed.
Oaken Day.
which means that Enos picked the Verns Day, a very neutral day.
I was thinking of waiting till fucking Deus Day, but you said you wanted to get it out sooner rather than later. So I was like, fuck it, we ball.
Yes. Yeah, I think we'll get at least through the Stas Day rules. I think I have some sequences there. So
I think I have
I
some.
prefer it being in the front half of the week.
Yeah, I have something big planned for. I believe it's. Hold on, let me check the days of the week so I know I'm not speaking out of this. I have something big
Nice.
plans for DS Day.
Yeah, that's what Enos was thinking about, but that's at the end of the tournament. All right. It's trip 9s from him.
Trip 9s, baby.
Loth.
Oh, right.
Not
I
as
need to roll-
crazy good as you've been rolling, Konrad, but you're keeping your stride. You're keeping your stride.
Nope. I always fuck this up.
4
4 9s.
You just had to one up Konrad, didn't you?
Hey, that is my
done.
my thing.
It's true. It is actually your thing.
I was extra flippy today.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You guys are scoring well. Did anybody else got anything for the Oaken Day?
No, Enos is watching matches though. I will say he is in there.
I will catch anyone's matches that I'm able to, but I don't know how that works. Would I be able to catch Aurelia's matches since she's in a different bracket?
They may be. They
And
might be staged
possibly
at a different
Moira,
time,
and
so, yeah.
possibly Moira's.
You could probably find some time to see Moira work a little bit.
Yeah, I'd want to rep House Logi. Also, oh god, Lady, motherfucker,
Lady
not Lady
motherfucker.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, not Lady motherfucker. Lady Rosenrot.
That's an interesting one. Yeah. Now,
Look,
seeing her in
I'm
the
a rep
tournament-
House colors.
Yeah. No. She is a
Look,
is a
no
cousin
one-
of the house.
No one I have a close personal relationship is in the other brackets other than my family. So like everyone I care about is in my bracket outside the house.
Well, I don't know entirely about that because Ilarion Marin's also in the apprentice bracket.
Oh, that's true. I would also check out Ilarion if I could. I did forget because she's a mage, so I keep forgetting she also knows how to kill people with swords.
Well, unfortunately, Anima only gives you a couple of attacking spells.
That's true.
They're good, but you've only got a couple of them. So yeah, no, she.
You do get essentially force pushed, which is goaded.
Oh, you could.
You are just a Jedi if you're an Anima Witch.
I think you do get to jump. You get to haste. You can push. You can technically mind trick because it's a hard spell because it's a fucking multi-action with perform sing, but you can siren song.
Yeah. I think the only thing you can't do is heal.
No, you can do that. You need a tub full of seawater though.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. You are just a Jedi.
Definitely the Jedi part. You cannot shoot lightning with Anima.
Well, yeah. But that's
By a different
so
god,
that's
but that's
fine.
a different move. You can choke people out, but that's
Well, technically, that is not a Sith technique. That's just Anakin
thing
being an
probably shouldn't
edgelord.
do.
It is not a technique the Jedi would tell you.
No.
Yes, Konrad, make sure to watch Aurelia's matches.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Alrighty.
I will be
well, if you
suitably. No, I don't think Aurelia would take it as well, so I'm not going to do that.
Well, you're not gonna be rowdy in the crowd.
I was considering like glamoring my clothes to show support, but like
I think Alestra would probably stop you from doing that. Just like
I know. I feel like
freaky
that
about it.
literally happened. I feel like I think about doing it, run it by Alestra, and she's like, "No." Okay.
Yeah, don't draw don't draw attention like that. Don't be distracting. Be supportive.
Don't be a soccer
Sorry, I should say-
hooligan.
I'm about to say, so I should not get a giant flag and wave
No,
it.
no, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be soccer hooligan. It's much more embarrassing parents at a sports game.
But yes, or rather, Alestra would say it with the accent. She'd be like, "No, don't cause a fuss. Don't be a hooligan."
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Well,
No one sauce fucking goals.
What?
score some fucking points.
Oh,
Go
Sorry.
England.
Go
Luckily,
on, Scott is
the
getting-
Vuvuzela
Go
is
on,
not a
Scott is
cultural
getting-
element any of you have exposure to.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Anyway, we're just joshing. Let's do Styles Days rolls. If there was nothing to hit up on the third day, I have no further sequences.
Everyone's doing
So-
well.
Roll again. Yeah. No. Everybody's. I think this day was maybe the tightest some have come. But Dallas also only has expert dice, so he's usually getting a 2 with sometimes a 3. The Master Dice boys are killing it. At a stage where like 3 9s is the worst Konrad has rolled all week so far.
Yeah. I feel like I'm definitely dodging, but not nearly as quick or finessing as the rest of you.
You're good
Not
at not
nearly as
being
elegant.
hit. You have to work harder to
Exactly.
score points.
Yes. My matches
Yeah,
are longer.
I was about to say, I think my weapon has like a good 3 feet on whatever you're using.
Actually, that is a good question. Which weapon style are you using?
Curved daggers.
Well, yeah, I mean, and for Conrad, are you fencing blade style, or are you going for full blown greatsword fencing?
Oh, he's Benhammer. Benhammer.
Okay, yeah, no. So yes, you have a lot of reach. Logesh, I believe, because his ult. Well, actually, no. Logesh put the Master Die in his sword pool. You're specifically fencing.
oh yeah.
You could have gotten away with a blunted polearm, but you went out of your way to fence for this.
So
Indeed.
Konrad will
Ooh, actually.
take 4 3s, and he's actually going to not attend a match to spend some time out of the week with Rena.
Oh, I like that. Yes, you pick the faster resolve. Yes. Well, you've been scoring points like crazy. So like I discussed with Aurelia, you can probably take like an afternoon or 2 off because you're like way ahead of the point curve to qualify for the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for 3 5s.
I mean, still really good. Honestly, your sloppiest day, Logesh. You know, you've been killing it. Maybe you actually fight some named people today. But you actually score a few points. I mean, maybe in a prelim match you actually spar with Ainara Espada, which is a match you probably technically lose, but you at least score a couple of points back. So
No, I keep putting 10d10. It's 9d10 plus 10.
it is actually a thing to think about with your special dice. Can you imagine if this was Wild Talents when you can have multiple special dice?
jackpot.
Oh, wild
Oh,
talents.
shit.
Also, I did not get hit at all because I used 3 width for dodge.
Yeah, you're crazy good. No, you're having a great day actually. This is, I think, your best day at 3 7s.
Yep.
So you're scoring up. You're doing good. But yeah, no. I was gonna say wild talents. You can have multiple. The equivalent of master die as wiggle die or hard dice, which is they're expert dice, but they're always 10. You don't preset them. And like that's you can get some dumb pools. It's a superpower system, so it makes sense. But like, just you get a couple of wiggle die, and it's just you get 1 wiggle die. It's always a match, but you get a couple of wiggle die, and it's just like, yes, here's 5 10s with my heat vision. My enemies are dead.
Just reminds me of fucking Zeus and his fucking headshot railgun. That was so dumb.
I remember
Yeah,
when
you
I
put.
made-
I mean, I think it was partially Ron's fault because he encouraged everybody to do hard dice at first because they're not that much more expensive. But we realized quickly through play that free 10s in any offensive power means we kill people. People die when we shoot them in the head,
Honestly,
and
it's
if they're
kinda
dead, it's a separate power Vera had to use to bring you back to life.
If I ever fucking did a fucking Conrad or character, I'd probably do the thing where my finisher attack that's super lethal cannot kill people. It literally is impossible to kill someone. They just get knocked unconscious.
See, that's why you just do
Not
what
bad at
I will say. I feel like if this was an actual fighting tournament, I would have a good chance because I feel like bear wrestling is just inherently broken to. It's kind of like the MMA problem. Just going around your opponent and choking them out is a very good strategy in a one-on-one fight.
I mean, you're still at risk of
So-
like them breaking the grapple, but
I did get a talent in the rules of pugilism that hard counters all your grappling, though.
Fair enough.
It's called low blow.
yeah, just
Kick him in the
Oh, when you're
dick.
grappling, you
in
just
the
hit.
dick.
kick him below the belt, or it's a gut punch.
Yeah, it's like gut or kidney
Sort of
shot
like-
or something like that.
Get a shot, yeah.
A strike in the region where you're not normally supposed to strike in a sanctioned match, but it really makes them feel bad about their day. That's okay. We also have some of these the funny fencing stuff. Actually, yeah, I think I need to. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I do need to update Aurelia's stats again. I'll give her a couple spells, and maybe she'll take a couple because I don't think she's actually taken any ignoble dueling talents yet. But Moira has a couple of those. She probably should pick up the. I think it's the first rank one is the Cora Core. Just body check people. Mid fence.
It might have been the second one.
Might be the second one. I'll double check, but like that is already a way in my mind that like Aurelia's style of fighting works because she's always wearing her 7 league boots. She like uses her extra ups to like, flying kick people occasionally. Which is again not a sanctioned dueling technique, but is very surprising when this 16-year-old girl who's like, average height for that age, leaps like a basketballer.
I think
Kicks
that
you
was
right in the face.
originally why I asked about like a few more unarmed martial paths, because I was figuring Konrad would definitely use his size along with his weapon during combat. So, but anyway,
No, I've also picked up a few martial path stuff.
Oh, well, I think we'll let you get it some more, just because it feels more cool to the characters. But we'll discuss that later. Okay, sorry, we prevaricated. I think it's everybody resolving the Stars Day. Okay, all right. Well, it's a little early, but I do love a great cliffhanger.
Oh no.
This evening, Marquess,
Yes.
you're asleep.
Uh-huh.
Late at night, middle of the night. It's like the third hour.
Oh,
No,
boy.
maybe about midnight-ish. And you are awoken, knocked upon your door in the middle of the night by Aunt Yibo, who is wearing probably over her, like, probably got, honestly, I think her, like, robe to pull on in the middle of the night is she, loosely wraps, a gambeson, a quilted, coat around her. But she's sitting there with a candle, and she's, quietly knocks at your door, and she's just like, no, actually, I think in this moment she would be like, she calls for Leslok. Everhelm Ferran is right next door, so of course he is also getting up. He probably shows up just in like, small clothes, open nightshirt and like, his greatsword over his shoulder. But yes, you get a knock, Leslok. You get up, I assume, to see what
Get
it
up.
is.
I get up. Yeah. Get up. I put something over my shoulder and like get it. Like just. I guess.
Yeah. Throw a robe over,
Yeah. I guess like a poorly lit. I don't know. It's like those scenes where you can't see anything, but like my eyes are always that odd color. Anyway, keep going.
Yes, the camera catches your eyes in a fun. But yes, you open up the door and Yibel says, "Oh, would she?" Yeah, no, I said she would say Leslok. She's like, Leslok, we've got a little bit of a sticky wicket. she kind of pauses and like she can't believe what she's saying, and she's like, Miss Aurelia's been injured in an illegal duel. And I don't know. Well, actually, no, she wouldn't say illegal. She'd say unsanctioned duel. And I don't know the details, but sorry, that's not Aunt Ebel's accent at all. She's more up north. Scream up there. Scream up north. But she's like, and I'm not sure about the details, but the way it worked out is also in response to this, Moira might have also seriously injured some Espada fencers.
So this is a situation where Leslok as she started this whole thing, his eyebrow raised, and then his mouth started to open slower and slower as this kept going. It's like, and it just snapped shut. Okay. Let me see.
I don't know all the details. I came to get you right away. I've already sent out Aren to fetch Nicola. No one will stop a young scion of the house in the middle of the night.
Nicola currently running towards the castle in his fucking nightshirt.
Not yet. I think because you said you've only got 30 minutes, and there'll be a couple of linked scenes here. I want to, like I said, cliffhanger on this. Also to give, because I knew I'd be putting Leslok on the spot a little for some of this, but to give Axe some time to think about it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be that's where we end. Is you join a trio shuffling through the night to go to Aurelia's.
No one's gonna
room.
hang tonight, but no one's gonna like how this goes.
I think Yibo reaches up and kind of gently touches his shoulder and he says, "Careful now, lad. If we're making enemies, there's a lot of them out there, even if we are at home."
Let's see how this happened first.
Then she kind of, lets go of the grip and gently pats your shoulder. There's a smart lad. All right, and that's gonna be, I think, where we wind it in for the day.
Konrad puts on more.
That's.
They always say, make sure you leave him wanting more.
I do imagine Kieran wakes Nicola up, goes, "Someone's been injured in an illegal duel." I go, "Konrad?"
No.
I mean, I'll say it for the future time because I haven't repped the recording in and doled it out. No, he would not even mention the duel part to you. Kieran would be like, "Oi, Nicola, wake up!"
Yeah.
And then you'd come to the door and he'd be like, "Aurelia's injured," and then we go from there. But like I said, he's not going to be as quiet knocking as Aunt Yebel was with Leslok. So that will be, like I said, that will be a whole scene, which is why I'm like, I want to cliffhanger a little and spin off because otherwise, like I said, we're going to be rapidly chaining scenes. So we'll give you guys some time to mull it.
Well,
And maybe I may or may not by next session. Actually, it won't be presented in time because you won't know the story. But I might work on writing Aurelia's perspective for how we got here.
Okay, that could be fun. More short fiction.
God, it's gonna feel like it's a weird.
How did I end up?
Teenage.
I will jokingly say how we were talking about, like, oh, maybe we can do something without Nicola. Nope, not now.
Nope.
Yeah, not exactly next week. That's right. I have 2
All right.
weeks.
Oh yeah, right.
But
Yes.
it is how it is. I think I will say before anybody gets too concerned over the break, Yiba would say to Leslok that one, your mother is with her, in her room. Actually, no, it would probably take the injured Aurelia to Lady Cressida's chambers.
And I'm assuming since she's not crying, she's not dying.
Yes, no. Yiba would say that she's probably not in a life-threatening injury. But I suppose I should say Yiba would know this loosely because I mentioned the Espada were involved. The other party was Paloma.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
okay. This is just
Well,
fucking
this
messy.
is
Oh my gosh.
messy.
So, like I said, it's a scene I've had in mind for a long time, but it's going to be a little messy. So I would like to give it room to breathe. So we're at the middle point of the week. Everybody had great role play, and you were all here. That's 2 points. I don't think anybody finished a mission yet because no matter what, we weren't actually getting through this week, all of this week in this session because I am a devious man. I am a sinister force.
I think I'm sticky with Leslok wants to be mad, but it's hard for him.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be very blunt with you. You do not have the position that affords you to be mad.
You're right.
Well,
You
we've
have
got
people
some
to
time
do
to think
that
about it.
for
We'll
you.
see how everybody goes. You do have people for that. We'll see how it goes later. All right, but great session, everybody. Great time. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you not next week, especially because I wouldn't probably post a time anyway, but in a little bit. Goodbye.
Sorry.
Where's Aurelia on the list? I read a note of being like, "What, girl? What are you fucking doing in your own time?"
Training.
Getting into unsanctioned duels, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, did you
Obviously,
stab your friend
at midnight?
Yeah. It's like,
Listen, this is what
Well,
happens
you
when
guys
you don't
will
give a...
find out that later. That's why you did want to go
I
talk to
will
her and
point
figure it
out,
out.
she is an Espada, and remember Logesh and Anara seem to be on very good terms, and look how that turned out.
Anyway, everyone say goodbye
It
for the
is
recording.
very funny that
Goodbye.
I did not plan it this way. It just kind of organically came up
Goodbye.
because everybody like I said, everybody skipped out on Aurelia's matches, so she came to see Inos. That turned into a very poignant conversation about future events. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're going to end the recording now. We'll see you later.